Welcome. We're here.
Wait a second. I am not Cal. What am I
I
doing
know.
here? Oh my goodness.
What was Cal's excuse? Do we know? No, I
uh,
do know. It's just a family thing, family event.
mhm, mhm.
But
Well, in the
we have
comments, is it
we
his
have
birthday
a
today?
replacement.
Is it Cal's birthday today? Did I not know today was Cal's birthday?
I don't think it's today. It was
Wait
his
a
birthday
Okay. Was?
a couple days ago. I mean, I remember that I didn't remember his birthday. So
What amazing friends we are.
yeah, yeah. I give myself a C- for that sometimes.
Cool. So I obviously am not Cal, but if you are a fan of the YouTube channel, hopefully maybe you know who I am. So I'm filling in for Cal today, but as always, we have the amazing Tyler Carp on here as well. So we're just gonna do the same thing that y'all are normally used to. It's just gonna be me instead of Cal. So the best show and the best comment section on YouTube, 100%. So I'm ready to get things going, and I'm very excited to be here.
I love it. I was born ready. So we'll see if I'll be as fiery. As I've been on Twitter the last couple of days. I've definitely been I've definitely been a little bit you know, bit more, I would say.
We got you. Wait, do we already have a super chat? Is that what I'm
We do.
seeing?
I got it.
Let's see it.
All right. So from FTT004, $5 super chat. What's up, guys? Love the show. Would you trade Chase Edmonds, Rashad Penny, and the 201 for the 105? It's a good question.
Is this Superflex?
Yeah, that would help. Yeah, is it Superflex? Superflex, I would do it more. Because getting a quarterback there would be nice.
That's about the range where the quarterbacks are probably going to end up being. Maybe not Corral, but the other guys.
I don't know. I feel like if Willis keeps what he's okay, so it's not Superflex.
Okay.
In that case, generally in these kind of trades, I want the one thing usually over the three. The three maybes are not as good as the one solid. And, the 105 is going to be worth more than any of these things. So way more. So I'll just take the 105. But I get it. I mean, it's just more of a style thing. I'm never going to be on the side of the three mediocre assets over the one good asset. So it's always going to be the 105 for me. It's kind of trade.
Yeah, I'm in agreement as well. I definitely see if you want to take the shot on Penny and you take like a 7-pick hit, but this is a 3-for-1 and I'm taking the 1. Yeah. So Trogdor, what's up, man? Hello, gentlemen. 12-team Superflex, Dak and Amari Cooper, or Swift, Cousins, Baker, and a 23-second.
Holy crap. I feel like this isn't close, right? It's the Swift side. It has to be, right? Because Swift and Dak are kind of similar, aren't they, in value at this point?
I would say so, yeah.
And then Cousins is worth more than Amari on his own, let alone with Baker and a 23-second. Amari is not someone I'm into. His season was bad. It was really bad. I think I was listening to, it was the RotoViz podcast today, and they were talking about how Amari was like wide receiver 30 this year. And it just wasn't so good. And they were saying, I thought it would bounce back. I think differently. I don't think so. When players at that age start to become bad, I don't just assume that it's going to be better. I don't see why I would think that. So, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want Amari. So I'll take the other side.
No, I'm in perfect agreement on that one as well too. So nothing more I need to add on that one. Also asked same league, Christian Kirk or Penny and Eskridge.
Well, Eskridge has no value at all.
Sure.
So then it's the other two. Now I can kind of see this one, right? I mean, I have a soft spot for Christian Kirk. Okay. But Rashad Penny does have some upside. If he doesn't go back there, though, it's not pretty.
Yeah, both free agents, both kind of up in the air. Maybe they return, maybe they don't.
Probably go with Kirk, but I get it.
I think I take the Penny side. Just because Kirk is the guy who probably is never seeing my starting lineup. If Penny,
I really like Kirk. I have such a soft spot for Christian Kirk.
Yeah, the upside's there for sure. But if the Penny's upside and his ceiling is higher than Christian Kirk, so I'll take the shot on both.
That's probably true. Kirk is younger than Penny.
What?
Yeah.
By months? It can't be years, right?
Penny is like February 96, and Kirk is what is Kirk? November 96, I want to say. Pretty sure. But yeah, Kirk is younger than you think. So
wow. My age. Griff, what's up, boy? Talk to me about the LA wide receiver dilemma in 22 and 23, especially with Robert Woods. Is he a good value in mid-round startups?
What's mid-round?
That is a good question.
I mean, I don't mind Robert Woods. I mean, if you get him late, he's not going to hold any value, but you can take the rest of his career. You know, when you make a draft pick at that round at that time, you're taking the rest of Robert Woods' career, which is fine. I mean, he could come back. I think he's going to come back and produce, don't you? I think so.
Yeah, I do. People are saying that he's a cap casualty. I don't know if I believe that.
I don't think so. I mean, unless I read his contract wrong, I don't think that's going to be very likely. Yeah, no. I mean, they would only save $3.6 million against 12.1 dead. So I don't think they're going to take 12.1 dead and only save 3.6 to not have Robert Woods on their team.
Sure.
So I don't.
Woods is ADP from January, so maybe it dropped a little bit more once we get February.
Well, it will once the rookies come in. Yeah, it was 90 overall. 90th. That's way too high. Yeah, that I'm not in at that price.
8th round. Yeah,
well, that's way too high. I'm not going to be in at that price. But so, I don't think that's real.
So interestingly enough, Odell Beckham's not that high, not that much higher ahead of him. Just 3 picks ahead of him, and then Van Jefferson is about a round behind Robert Woods. So.
Yeah, I would rather have Woods still over Beckham.
Really?
Which might, yes. Well, because Woods is going to be there. And I do think that when Woods comes back, he's going to be ahead of Beckham again. They're 6 months difference in age. Woods is April 92 and Beckham is November 92.
I have no idea how you know that, but okay.
I just do. Sometimes I know the exact date. Cooper Kupp is one of the ones that comes up the most. June 15th, 1993.
June. Yeah, because he'll be the dreaded 29 years old in June.
Yep, that's how I know. But yeah, I don't know. Is OBJ going to resign with the Rams? I mean, is that a lock? I don't think that's a lock.
I don't think it's a lock. I feel like it's a pretty good assumption, though. You know,
is it? I mean, if Woods is really healthy and coming back, they still have Van Jefferson, who was good. They're going to really sign OBJ also? I don't think that's a lock at all, personally. I think if they sign OBJ back, that's telling you that Robert Woods is nowhere near being ready. And then obviously I would, if they actually sign OBJ back, I might flip where I have those two in my rankings. But I'm still thinking there's a pretty good chance that Robert Woods will be ready and they'll pass on OBJ. I mean, OBJ is going to be a free agent. Anybody could sign him. There's no reason why, other teams couldn't be interested.
Sure. They don't have a lot of decisions to make for free agency either. The only other big name they have on free agency is Von Miller. Then it's like guys like Sony Michel and
Michel will walk.
But
I do think that, Odell is actually a free agent people aren't talking about as a free agent. They're just kind of forgot that he's in this free agency class. He's included. And I think he could go somewhere. What if he signed with the Chiefs? What about that? I mean, if the Chiefs beat the Rams offer, I mean, he couldn't consider it. The Rams are tight on space. The Rams are not going to be able to offer him anything big.
Yeah. So are the Chiefs, though. I mean, they're already messing around with Mahomes' signing bonus and whatnot, moving his stuff around.
Yeah, but they're both tight on the cap. I mean, we could be talking $4 million versus $3 million. Maybe the Chiefs offer $4 million. What about the Bills? So the Bills could use another receiver. Imagine adding OBJ, there. Adding, I mean, when you're not relying on OBJ at this point, suddenly he's good. When you don't rely on him, when you don't need him, when he's just a luxury, then it's a different story. Then he's fine. So, there are many places where he could go and be that.
Interesting. Yeah. So hopefully that cleared up a little bit there, Griff, for you. Josh, in a 10-team Superflex, would you trade Tua for the 2022 1.05 and a 2023 first? What would you ask for him? My other quarterbacks are Lawrence, Lance, and Jameis Winston.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You just get Tua off your team for this. A 10-team Superflex, quarterbacks are not that. I mean, they're important, but
you need the top end guys more,
Yeah, it's that too, but it's also everyone can have 3, so there's just no scarcity anymore. Tua is uninteresting, boring, low ceiling option that I just have zero interest in. So give me these firsts. He's not worth that. In attending, even in a 12-team Superflex, I'm not paying this. This is too much.
Yeah,
for Tua at this point.
I feel the same about a lot of the quarterbacks in that range as well. So it's not just Tua. I feel it's mainly just any of those quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean, he's worth a good amount, but this is too much. So the 23 first could be a problem because that, I feel like there could be 8 players in the 23 class that I prefer over Tua, even if there's maybe only 2 in this class.
Mm-hmm.
So absolutely. I don't want to give up the 23 first to trade for a mediocre player. I don't want to do that. Yeah. We have another super chat, so I'll grab that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. Oh, but you're here. You're here. So the super chats are for you. That's the difference, right?
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
They must be for you. From Scott, non-Superflex half PPR. Oh boy, I already tell by these players. I just traded Claypool. I don't know how you feel about Claypool for Fant and a 23 first. I now have 3 23 firsts. Should I do Swift for Fournette and Higgins? So let's take this one step at a time. So let's start with the first part.
Sure.
So non-Superflex half PPR, Claypool or Fant and a 23 first.
23 first.
Yeah.
I could have done that without Noah Fant in there. Noah Fant's just cherry on top. We both know how we feel about Noah Fant, but
it's bad. Yeah, it's not good. Not good. I don't like Noah Fant. How do you feel about Chase Claypool?
I don't like him.
You don't like him.
Coming from a Steelers fan as well, I wasn't in on him coming into this year just because I didn't see his role and I didn't see the role really meshing with Big Ben's strengths. And now we don't have a quarterback, and I don't really know again what Chase Claypool is going to bring to the table. He's just another deep threat kind of guy who needs a quarterback to just throw it to him because if the separation's not really there on deep post routes or fades and stuff like that, then they're just going to dump off to Deontay or Najee Harris or Pat Freiermuth or should Juju even re-sign? Juju is an easier target for a rookie quarterback or Mason Rudolph than a Chase Claypool is. So
Juju is bad no matter what. He's so bad. You look at the route. You look at the route tree. I see red everywhere. Every route is red. I don't want red. I don't want that. I don't want red on my team. I want green. Deontay Johnson, green everywhere. Green, always open. Juju, always red, never open. I don't want never open on my team. So that I don't want. But I don't really like Claypool either. I don't dislike him as much as Juju, but I'm not a fan of Claypool. So the 23 class I think is going to be that will reset the dynasty market, I think. And maybe you agree. So the 2017 class right now, even now, the 2017 class, you have your Cook, Kamara, Aaron Jones, from that class. Then you have receivers, Juju being one of them. There are other players, but a lot of players from that class, McCaffrey, Fournette, both in that class as well.
Kamara.
Yeah, Kamara as well. So there's so many players in that class. And that, I think 23 is finally going to wash those players out.
Okay.
Mixon is in that class too.
Yep. And Godwin as well, I think.
Godwin as well, yeah. So many players from that class. But Godwin is not going to be washed out. But I'm talking mostly about the running backs.
Sure.
The 23 class is going to be a landscape changer. I don't feel like the 2022 class is going to change the dynasty landscape. I feel like we wake up in May and we're like, yeah, there were some changes. Something happened. But I feel like this will be the least impactful Dynasty class in a long time. On the level of 2019. I think this class is similar in terms of caliber to 2019. 2019, yeah, there were some good players. I mean, AJ Brown was in that class. Metcalf, Terry McLaurin was a gem in that class. There were some good players, but I don't feel like the Dynasty game changed from 2019, whereas from 2020 and 2021, it did to a lesser extent. Whereas I think 2023 is going to be the biggest. 2023 is the next 2017, something that just completely eviscerates the Dynasty landscape and just changes everything. So I don't want to give up those 23 firsts unless I got to have an overpay for that. Claypool straight up is not good enough. I want more than that.
Sure. That's great for Scott. He's got 3 of them already. So,
well, I agree. I mean, that's a great move to have those first because they're only going to rise in value between now and then. We know that picks rise in value until the day you have to make them. Mm-hmm. So I love it. And then what about the second part? So Swift for Fournette and Higgins. Fournette has lost all of his appeal now. Mm-hmm. Fournette is no longer appealing. Because, yeah, I mean, he re-signs there, but we don't have the Brady dump-off machine that Brady is. I mean, Brady threw a lot of passes to Fournette. That's what Fournette's receiving production is what gave him his value in the years Fournette was good, was 2019. And this year, he had a lot of receiving production. That's what made him a running back 1, high-end, mid-high-end 1 at times. And he's not going to have that with another quarterback. That's not guaranteed. So Fournette's lost his appeal, so that brings me back to Swift.
Yep. I am in agreement.
We have another super chat. Another one. This one, oh boy. Another super chat to see Tyler rip a horrible trade if Addison has one handy. What does this even mean? Like, okay, are we asking me to rip you apart?
No. This is probably from the to end every trade show that Russ and I do. We do a horrible trade.
Which I do watch, by the way. I watch that show. And also, I want to give a shout out to BetSperts. If people don't know, that's the company that acquired DLF. I want to give a shout out to them because they've been working with me through their Twitter account to help promote this show. And I just appreciate whoever, I don't know who it is, but whoever runs the BetSperts Twitter account, thank you for responding to my messages so promptly and helping promote this show. So shout out for that. But yeah, horrible trade.
I pulled a good one real quick. The first player I thought of that I knew that you would rip into. And this is actually the most recent trade with Noah Fant involved in the DLF trade finder. And it's Noah Fant and Rashad Bateman for AJ Brown.
Brown easily. It's a lot of bad on the other side. I don't want tight ends who are all athleticism and no substance. And now I heard today that the Ravens will pick up Marquise Brown's 5th-year option. How wonderful. The problem continues for another year. Small passing pie, not enough receivers to eat from it. I mean, or too many receivers to eat from it, and neither of which really are separating from the other one. I mean, once Bateman came back, Bateman was unusable, and he made Hollywood Brown unusable. Do we want players? Unusable players. We don't want unusable players on our fantasy team. Those don't help us. So, yeah, no, I mean, it's obviously AJ Brown over those two. But you would agree with me that AJ Brown is a target of yours, right? I mean, you would target him. I mean, AJ Brown is a star, right?
Oh, yeah. I would love AJ Brown on my team.
Yeah, I'm all in on him. I mean, he's someone I want to acquire. I think people just decided he was injury prone or something.
I'm slightly concerned about it, but I'm not to the point where I'm fading him because of the injury concerns.
I mean, he's played 43 of 49. So
there you go.
How bad is that? Is that 6 games missed in 3 years? 6 possible missed. I mean, is that bad? Injuries happen. I mean, the NFL is the NFL. You're injury prone until you're not, right?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, Keenan Allen was injury prone at the start of his career. And when was the last time he missed a game? He doesn't miss a lot of games anymore. So
a month ago. I remember that game because I had to start.
Christian McCaffrey then, but it goes the other way too. Christian McCaffrey, Iron Man, 48 out of 48 first 3 seasons, next 2 seasons, nothing. Dalvin Cook constantly hurt first 3 seasons, and then all of a sudden is mostly healthy. So, trying to predict it is a little suspect. It's rare that I'll put a player in injury prone. You're more likely to hear me say that a player has been injured and is no longer effective. That you'll hear me say. I mean, you hear me say that about Saquon. You'll hear me say that about Darren Waller. I have some concerns why it took him so long to come back from the injury. Golladay, is a player I suspect has never been the same after his 2020 injury. You'll hear me say that, but you usually won't hear me say injury prone players that I'm worried about future injuries. That's not usually my style to worry about that.
All righty, so back up here to the top, Ed, Taco Tuesday.
Or Waffle Wednesday if you're in Australia.
Hey,
don't forget about Waffle Wednesday.
That's what Blake was saying.
Oh, there it is. I actually didn't know that was next.
Eric, we got in here. Superflex 12 team. Javonte in the 109 or Lamar Jackson Superflex?
I think this is a good question.
This is very
good. Don't you? Is Lamar? I feel like Lamar is a buy, right? People are down on him. People don't like him anymore. And I feel like people are forgetting first of all, how young he is, but secondly, his rushing upside. What he can provide when he's on the field. But would you pay this for Lamar, or is this too steep for you?
I probably would pay this, especially if I was like rebuilding or not really looking for the next year. It's a good move to get Javonte off your team, I think, and it's a good sell high to kind of solidify the quarterback position. With Lamar Jackson, I think I would pay this. It is a little much.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's not cheap, but I think the stud quarterback, Lamar is still in the stud quarterback tier for me in Superflex. And I just think that those players are worth a little bit more than this. But this trade is fair. I don't think it's a bad trade, but I would lean Lamar.
Yep. I like both sides of it. I think this is just a fantastic trade.
Yeah, no, it's value-wise is pretty even, but in Superflex, if it's pretty even, and the stud quarterback is one of the sides, I'm going to go with the stud quarterback almost every time.
Ryan, what's up, everybody? What's up,
hey, Ryan?
Jeremy, Judy, or the 112 and the 307? Oh, man.
Yeah, the mighty have fallen.
Do you agree with Eric? Eric said the 112.
What are you going to get on the 112, though? This is not the year for that. In a super flex, I see it more because there could be 4 quarterbacks that you take at that point, and that might give you something you wouldn't get otherwise. In a 1 QB, I'll keep Judy over this. Super flex, it's almost dead on value-wise.
I'm trying to think of who the wide receivers would be in a 1 quarterback that would get down to that point, because I feel like it's kind of similar to how it would have been in 2021, where you kind of have your selection of the Moores maybe, or
it's not going to be that good.
Yeah, it's going to be like David Bell or Jahan Dotson or Kyron Williams. I think that's his name, the Notre Dame kid.
Yeah, that's who I have kind of in that range, actually.
Yeah.
At least in 1 QB, that's my 10, 11, 12 right now. So
right.
I'm with you. But yeah,
Judy in a 1 QB, 112 in a super flex. Is that our answer? I think that's
probably. In a super flex, I'd rather just take my chances that a quarterback slips, and I'm willing to gamble on that and take a slightly inferior wide receiver prospect with the 307 if I have to. But I'd rather gamble because Judy's harder to move than the 112.
Yeah, no, I agree with that one for sure. We got a lot of people in here answering previous trades up here. This is another fantastic reason why you can ask questions in here, because not only do we answer it, but you kind of get a little bit of a crowdsource as well.
I like that. It's one of my favorite parts about the chat.
It's absolutely amazing. So the next one in here from Tyler, AJ Brown or CD Lamb? Yes.
That's a good question. Yeah, I still have CD Lamb ranked higher, but that ranking doesn't feel right. But I get it. To me, really, though, I don't like the value on CD Lamb and AJ Brown. I don't know. I'd much rather pay whatever it takes to trade down from CD Lamb or AJ Brown to DJ Moore and get the first plus I can get with more to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
But I know I can do that not from the players, but from the startup cost I would need. I'm not happy. Really, I don't want to draft any of these players at their price. I think that the tier gap really in a 1 QB say, I think it goes Taylor is kind of in a tier by himself, and then Chase and Jefferson are up there, and then every other player is not worth their cost.
It's about 2 rounds deep of the same player.
Not the same, but like honestly, like the difference between DeAndre Swift, who I have ranked at 4, and Cam Akers, who I have ranked at 23, is not that much.
No.
Like I think the difference between Swift at 4 and Akers at 23 is the equivalent to me between Swift at 4 and Chase at 2. Like I think those differences are about the same. Gets really like if I'm in a 1 QB, I either want one of those top 3 picks so I can take Taylor, Chase, or Jefferson, or I want to trade way down. Like I'm fine not making a pick in the top 20.
Yeah,
even top 25.
Multiple okay thirds, multiple second, third.
Like I'd like to get out of the first and the second, maybe even the second round entirely. In a Superflex, it's different. With the quarterbacks, it's different because I'm gonna like the stud quarterbacks at the top. And then I also like, Taylor, Jefferson, and Chase. So I'm more likely to want to make my first round pick. But in a 1 QB, I don't want anything other than top 3 pick. I want to trade way down.
I'm 100% with that. 100%. Shane, I don't want Addison. Yeah, I get it. I don't want to be here either. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to be here, but nobody wants me here. They want Cal.
Well, Cal is starting his new series. Or started, I guess, past tense.
Cal's new series is fantastic.
It is really good. I will get on there eventually. I've already promised that I will do the interview. Imagine how unleashed I'll be on a whole show about me. Imagine that.
I'll have so much fun editing that one. That would be great.
No, we can't edit that. We have to, no, you're going to have to edit that.
I either have to edit that or I add in stuff to further accentuate.
You have to edit. You're going to have to edit that. That's going to be that's going to be a mess.
Cal shows his new show is fantastic. If you haven't already, check it out. It's on the channel. His first one was with me, and the second one was with Matt Waldman, and he interviewed Adam Harstead. That will be dropping on Saturday. And I've seen the list of guests that he has for the next month. They are all fantastic. All fantastic.
Yeah, I've seen that we can book anybody. So I love that.
Cody up here, Mitchell or Penny and Ridley?
My least favorite thing. Actually, it's not my least favorite because the Kamara news dropped when I was live. So that was probably my least favorite thing that happened on Sunday. But yeah, up there on my things I don't like talking about is Calvin Ridley, because what is there to say? We've heard nothing, zero from the Ridley camp. Nothing. It's all secondhand. Everything you've heard is, well, the beat writers think maybe. It's all speculation. We've heard nothing from Ridley. Nothing at all. So I'll take Mitchell.
You know what's really weird is like I'm like the biggest Elijah Mitchell fan in like the industry. And I still want to take the Ridley side, but you're so right because we haven't heard anything.
Scary.
Like, we just heard that he might want to be traded, and then that's it.
But every day that passes is bad. Every day that passes is a bad thing that we don't hear anything. Because it's starting to get to the point, why haven't we heard anything? Why? You would think we would hear something, anything, but nothing. It's radio silence. I have Elijah Mitchell ranked very high in my Dynasty ranks at running back. I have him at running back 13.
That's a little low.
You think that's low?
I'm telling you, bro. No, I love Elijah. I don't think that's pretty high.
That's higher than consensus. Like that much I can tell you.
I love Elijah Mitchell. I'm sorry. I think I would take Elijah Mitchell. If you replace Ridley with like any other wide receiver in that range, I'd be on that side.
Well, what range do you have Ridley in? It's not the same range I have Ridley in. I can tell you that for sure.
I guess that's a good point because for some reason in ADP he's wide receiver 20 in January.
Yeah, no, those people. He's not wide receiver 20 if he came back. If he came back tomorrow, he's not wide receiver 20. He was terrible before he went out. Not good. So I mean, he's already 27. He's not wide receiver 20 if he came back. So that ADP is insane. Just for the record.
I dropped it down a bit. Like Cortland Sutton, are we still too high? Allen Robinson?
Well, Cortland Sutton, I have so far differently from ADP. I have him about 30 spots lower.
Darnell Mooney?
Yeah, I mean, I have. Yeah, that's about right. I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
Interesting. I think it's the Elijah Mitchell side.
I agree. I love Elijah Mitchell. I think Elijah Mitchell's the man.
I'm here for it. Let's do it.
But yeah, that's more me being anti-Ridley than pro. I am quite pro Mitchell, but I will not trade for Ridley under any circumstances.
Tyler, following up with the AJ Brown, CD Lamb, would you trade AJ Brown for CD or Pittman and St. Brown for? Wait, AJ Brown for CD or Pittman?
He's asking, would we rather give up AJ Brown for CD Lamb, which I don't really want to do because it's too even. It's players right next to each other. That's kind of silly. Or do we want to give up the combination of Pittman and St. Brown to acquire Lamb? Would we give up those two for Lamb?
I would give up both those for CD Lamb, and then I would promptly trade CD Lamb for AJ Brown.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you can do that. I think he has AJ Brown, Pittman, and St. Brown right now, and he's trying to put together a package to get Lamb. I would rather have Lamb over the combination of Pittman and St. Brown, though.
I do agree with. Yep. But if you already have AJ Brown, I wouldn't move CD. I wouldn't move him to get CD, and then
you can do better
that trade. I would not move him for Pittman and Brown.
I would trade Pittman and St. Brown for Lamb.
Yeah, hopefully we got that one out.
Yeah, I think we did.
Salsa. Hey guys, I just got Burrow, Lawrence, and Fields in a Superflex startup draft in rounds 1, 3, and 4. Wow, that's impressive. Should I look to trade one, and if so, which one?
Okay, so I can already tell you that from my Patreon startup experience, Lawrence in round 3 is going to be common on my Superflex startup teams. Yes, Lawrence, it happens almost every time. He goes in round 3. And unless I'm at the back end of the 3rd, I'm often the one, getting him. So Lawrence in round 3 is common. Should you look to trade one? No, I mean, I'm fine with having these as my only quarterbacks and nobody else. So no. No, I like having 3 quarterbacks at least. So no, I'm fine with this.
Yeah. The hard part about trying to make a trade after the startup is that the rest of your league kind of already told you how they value these players. If you're the one that got, if Lawrence supposedly fell, if Fields fell, they're not going to, You know
what you do though? Somebody drafted 2 quarterbacks thinking that like Baker Mayfield was usable. They're wrong. And, they will realize very quickly that, you can do you have a problem there. And then they'll look to you for someone actually startable instead of Baker waste of time. I don't like Baker, if that's not obvious. I don't either. He is not good.
He is the baseline
of for what?
Baseline as you can get of just like this guy starts in the NFL.
Yeah, more or less.
Wait, it's not Taco Tuesday? It's definitely Taco Tuesday.
It's just it's Waffle Wednesday in Australia because it's Wednesday there.
Mm-hmm. It's always Taco Tuesday. I could have tacos every single day.
I'm sure you could.
Addison, where's my t-shirt? This is the failure t-shirt. Let me tell you, we've actually made pretty good headway on that.
Wait, we have?
We joked about or when this was started back in the summer.
Yeah.
Yep. We're closer.
Okay. I didn't know that.
We'll need your licensing information and stuff, and please.
Yeah, we'll make sure to give you your royalty, your fee.
No, I'm talking about for you. Like if your face is on it, do you have like NIL?
Is gonna be on it?
Yeah. Do you have like NIL? Stuff like that?
I'll talk to my agent and get back to you.
Excellent. TikTok. I just thought of the was that Kesha? Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to move Dalvin Cook for a 23 first. What more would you want on top of the first? First time getting to comment live. Always watch after due to work. Thanks for your help. Oh, thank you for joining.
Yeah. Welcome. Well, we don't want Dalvin Cook. Well, how much do you want on top of the first?
I was going to ask, is a 23 first enough for you to move Dalvin Cook? Yeah, I don't think it is either.
It's not. I couldn't imagine that I could ever have Dalvin Cook now. I would. Well, no, there's just no way. The only way I have Dalvin Cook now is if I'm inheriting an orphan. Essentially, I'm starting new with someone on Patreon who already has Dalvin Cook, because I eliminated any shares of those Kamara, Cook, Zeke running backs, any shares. I was like, I insisted they had to go last offseason. I wouldn't have drafted Cook in a startup this offseason. So the only way I have Cook is if I'm walking into a team that I did not create. So it's hard for me to put myself in the perspective of how I would have gotten here to have Cook. But let's say I'm in that situation. You've signed up for my Patreon, and now I'm helping you move Cook. I mean, I don't know. I think the days of like where you get Elijah Moore and a first for Cook are gone, right? I mean, that's probably not realistic. That would be the first thing I would try, but I don't think you can actually do that.
It depends on how the person feels about Elijah Moore. Or maybe if they kind of got him as a steal and he's kind of a depth piece.
Well, what I more mean is I think Elijah Moore is the best player I would try. Is the best player I would try to get with the 23 first. And then I would work down from there. I don't think you're going to get a better player.
I pulled up the trade analyzer and just the difference between Cook and a 23 first. Now I have it in 1 QB. This might change in Superflex. But they have the suggested ads on the first in the name ranges of David Montgomery, Elijah Mitchell, Devonta Smith.
Okay, so that's even lower than Elijah Moore. I would say those players are. I have them all ranked lower.
I don't think it's considerably lower, but I think if you're trying to stay in the range of running backs, like if you still want the running back production from Cook, even though you don't need to do that now, I think David Montgomery in a first is okay.
I'd try Josh Jacobs instead. It's more likely.
Watching videos.
No, Josh Jacobs has draft. I don't. Please explain to me. Please explain. You tell me, because I don't know. Why is David Montgomery ranked higher than Josh Jacobs? Why? His draft capital is less. His production was what? Exactly the same?
Did you see what his production was at the end of 2020? That's probably why.
That was it, right? 6 games.
Yeah.
Those 6 games. The draft capital is less. The production is almost the same. Age. Jacobs is younger. Why is Montgomery going 2 rounds earlier? Why? I have zero comprehension. None at all.
It's more of the people hating on Jacobs, which I was in the hating on Jacobs camp until about a couple weeks ago. And then
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm a mixed bag on Josh Jacobs. But yeah, maybe try that. Yeah, I definitely want to move on from Cook. I don't want Cook.
Get younger.
Also, you want to move on from Cook before he actually turns 27. Because once he turns 27, you'll never be able to move him. And that happens in August. People see 27. 26 is already hard for a running back. Try when they see 27. You see 27, you go, oh, no, I don't want that. But now they see 26. People are lazy. I don't think, I'm me, but most Dynasty managers are lazy. They don't look at the age. They don't know that Cook's birthday is in August. Move him now while you still have that benefit of 26. Seriously, I'm serious about this. If this didn't work, I wouldn't keep talking about it. But I do, because this comes up every offseason with players who turn, to an important age in the middle of the offseason. Suddenly the value goes down. It happened with DeAndre Hopkins last offseason. Is it a coincidence that in June ADP, he was suddenly much higher than he was in July when he turned, 29 between those 2 ADPs? You think that's a coincidence? It doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. That sounds like it's, people just saw the change that month.
I'm with you. So speaking of Elijah Moore, what would you give up pick-wise to get Elijah Moore?
The good news is on my Patreon, I have the chart. So you can see all the answers to this. But I will read you from the chart. So in a 1 QB, I have Elijah Moore just above the 103. And in a Superflex, I have Moore between the 105 and the 106.
I feel like you're a little higher on Elijah Moore than I am, but not significantly higher. I would have said the 105, 106 in one quarterback.
That seems really low to me. I just cannot imagine there's going to be 5 or 6 players I'm going to prefer.
I'm just thinking of the running backs. You got those 3 running backs in there, which I apparently seem to be higher on all of them except Breece Hall than everybody.
I mean, I'm writing about Kenneth Walker now, and I am not. The chances that I prefer Kenneth Walker over Elijah Moore are 0, essentially.
I feel like you're in agreement with me as well. Wait a second. What is going on here? Do I need to change the background?
How do we?
What is this?
Welcome. Surprise. We're working on it.
Use this? No.
There we go.
No.
Okay, I don't know what this is, but we are found.
This one. No.
Yes. No.
We'll just go back to this one.
I'm crashing the party.
The party has been crashed.
What is up?
Crash the party of my own show. Guys, you just don't know, but Addison tried to kick me out. He's like, I'm taking over.
Dude, look at that. Our viewers just spiked all the way up. Now we're in the 70s.
We just got 10 new viewers because you're here.
No, let's
Holy
go.
crap.
All right. Usually it goes down. If I show up, everybody runs away. But glad to see.
No, that's not it. People were asking where you were at. They were mad that I was here. There were pitchforks and torches. You should have seen it.
Were there?
I thought so. At least from Shane. But
oh yes, Shane did have a pitchfork. That's true.
Cal,
love it.
I'm gonna let you take over, buddy. I'll just sit back and answer questions with Cart. I'll let you do your thing.
Let me find where we are. You keep going. I'm gonna get back up to where you are.
Yeah, it's quite a bit up.
Okay, I'm going. I'm going.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, we're way behind.
Did we answer this one? What would you give?
Yeah, we answered this one. We're done with this one. We need to move on to the next one, which is so we're at 9:06. So we're 6 minutes into the questions.
So you're gonna have to continue then, because the furthest it'll let me go up is 8:16. So you go ahead, Addison. Keep
Holy
driving.
Crap! Oh my
god!
God!
No, 9:06. 9:06. You should be able to go up to 9:06.
I only go up to 9:16. Your time.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Tyler, 103 thoughts in a Superflex.
Oh, don't get me started. Don't get me started.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, weird. Why are you making this pick anytime soon? Is this pick going to be made in May? Yes. That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. Then don't ask me. You can ask me, but seriously, guys, locking your picks in. I say this every week, but locking in what you want to do with your rookie pick months in advance is a really, really bad idea, because you're going to miss out on value that you would get otherwise if you stayed more flexible in your mind. But in general, there are I can talk about the players I like. Malik Willis has moved up to my Superflex 101.
The only thing I would say is don't trade it. Just don't move it right now.
Don't do that. Yeah, I agree with that. That's trade it.
That's I think that we can give right now, and then as it gets closer, we'll have a better idea on that 103. But just don't trade it. Don't trade it.
If you do have to pick the player now, if this is an early draft, I'm the wrong person to ask.
Hey, I tell you what, send something in your group chat that's like, man, I'm so glad there's a top 3 in this draft.
I know. I love it. But seriously, if you have to do that, use the DLF rookie rankings or ask your favorite Debbie analyst. I really don't do rookie drafts before the NFL draft. I wouldn't play in a league that played that way. Personally, I don't enjoy it. So I'm not as experienced with that format.
If you ask again in March or April, I'll have a much better idea.
I'll be better in March or April after the combine than I would be now. I'll be better every day that passes. But now, now I would not. I would not, trust me.
Salsa, again, would you trade the rookie 108 this year for a random 2023 first?
This is a very good question.
Yes.
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 All right. We got a unanimous yes. What about 107?
Try to get more.
What about 107? Would you trade 107 for a 23 first?
I'm still not doing it straight up. I still need something else.
Nah, I'm good. I'm good. This class is one of the worst we've seen in years, and next one is one of the best. So I'm good. I'll take the 23 over the 108. 107 is where I start needing more.
Not to mention, at the 108, you have a 75% chance that the 2023 pick is better than the 2022
Correct.
pick.
Yeah, there's
8 out of 12, 75%.
Yeah, 7 better, 4 worse, 1 the same. So whatever that percentage is.
Mm-hmm.
I starred this question. I'm going to talk about this in the article.
Oh, excellent. Fantastic. Scott in here, Eric is answering questions. Thank you, Eric. But Scott in here again.
We just did this. We did this one. We talked
do
about
this.
This
is
yeah.
Oh, this is great.
We talked about this, and then it became a super chat because we didn't get to
we're out here. Yeah, we're out here getting super chats, bro.
Let's go.
That's the key to super chats is you just don't answer questions, and eventually, people will just give you money to answer.
I don't like to play that game, but yes, I am aware that that's how a lot of streams do it.
I'd give up an early first for Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I mean, I said that I was comfortable doing that.
Yep. Love the 1.03 guaranteed Burks Hall or Malik Willis is the QB1. Love it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's possible QBs could still be 1 and 2, depending on where they land.
That's your top 3, Cal, right there. So glad there's a top 3 in this class.
Yeah.
Go listen to Matt
top 3 right now.
Traylon Burks.
Oh, Matt is so smart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my top 3.
Fantasy Condo, Antonio Gibson and Miles Sanders or Calvin Ridley and Adam Troutman in a 10-team half PPR?
This is a silly question because I'd rather have Antonio Gibson than the other 3 players combined. So Gibson and Sanders.
Adam Troutman should not be owned in a 10-team league.
Yeah,
no.
Well, yeah, if it's a 10-team, no premium, I am good with that. I do not need Adam Troutman rostered. He's like I can pass on him.
What if there's like
50 man
40 man, 40 man roster?
Yeah, if it's a premium, I would hang on to him just for the value sake. You can often trade those guys for a third, but in a non-premium, I don't have a need to roster Adam Troutman.
Yeah.
Staying on Washington, if they get a good quarterback, do you think Diami Brown and Ricky Seals-Jones can pop off?
Did we see my facial reaction? The answer is no.
Hey, can I just say how awkward it is being on this side? Like, this is hard, Carp. Like, I don't know. Like, I like reading the questions, and
it's hard, right? It's hard.
I like guesting on shows too. I sort of have an idea of what I'm doing. Like, this is like live, and I'm just trying to react. And like this, Tyler deserves more credit.
I have not guested on thing, but I also have not guested on a show in a really long time. I miss it. But I just have not had the time to do that. But I eventually I will come back.
No, they're not going to pop off.
No, they're not. Ricky Seals-Jones is a free agent. They're not going to re-sign him. And Diami Brown is a bust.
No pop.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jesse, what's up, guys? What's up, Jesse? Hope you're well. Oh, we're doing well over here. I hope so. Speaking for you guys,
I'm pretty
Superflex 12-team PPR. Which side would you like for a rebuilding team? He'd be shipping Travis Etienne the 103 and the 3.03 to receive Jerry Jeudy the 105 and the 2.04. Also has the 1.04. Should you counter with that instead of the 105?
What's the point of this? Like, no, just keep the 103. That's the thing you want to keep. I just see this whole thing as pointless. You're trading Etienne for Jeudy. That doesn't really accomplish anything. So yeah, don't do this. Just keep the 103 and just try to trade Etienne for something else, but don't include the 103. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah, I like trading Etienne, but let's not do it in this. This is
you could be giving up your chance at a quarterback you actually want to build around with 103. So we don't want to go back from 103 to 105 with having no idea what we're moving back for. We don't know what that means. That could mean the difference between we don't even know who the top quarterback is going to be. We don't know who the second quarterback is going to be. We don't know who the third quarterback is going to be. So we have no idea what that could mean. So we do not want to do this.
I agree. It's Travis Etienne side all the way around. PJ, what is Alvin Kamara's value? Oh boy.
I said this
actually this is the first time we've had this question tonight, I think.
Okay, so if you want to hear me talk about Alvin Kamara for 40 minutes, you can go to my YouTube channel. The news dropped when I was live, as I mentioned earlier. So I spent a long time talking about Alvin Kamara. More news came out since then. It was not good. It actually was worse than I thought it was. During that conversation, I basically said that you can just ignore Alvin Kamara, and no matter what his value is, just let someone else pick him. Don't trade for him. Don't draft him. You're not going to get burned like you did with Tyreek Hill. It's a little different. We're talking about a running back who's going to be 27 the next time he takes the field versus a wide receiver who was 25 and had 3 wide receiver 1 seasons coming. You're not going to get burned in the same way. So with Alvin Kamara, let someone else draft him. The only relevant question is, if you already have Alvin Kamara, what do you do? And I would say just get rid of him immediately.
Would you trade him for a 2023 first?
Yep.
Yeah, I would.
That question came up on Dynasty yesterday, and I
don't want
worth
to
more
deal
than
with
that.
this.
He was probably worth more than that before, but at this point, yes. If I could get a first, I'm off.
Well, there's so many other problems. I mean, we don't know what the new coaching staff is going to be. We have no idea who the quarterback is going to be. The team is going to suck. I wasn't interested in Kamara anyway, so I don't want to deal with this. It is a blow to the
Nobody's going to be laughing when Taysom Hill is holding the Lombardi trophy.
I will say that the article about Taysom Hill came out today. The article about Taysom Hill, the one where I read excerpts last time, that article dropped today.
Love it.
But I don't know how many of those.
I'm kidding.
None. I will say that, a lot of what I said about Taysom Hill was cut from the article.
Nicholas, similar to the Washington question, but this time for Vegas, any chance that Edwards and Waller can do well this year, the new head coach being more offensive minded?
Well,
I'm a no on Edwards.
No. Waller, there's nothing. Waller was not a scheme problem. There was nothing wrong with the scheme. Waller's problem was not playing as well and not staying healthy. I don't think the scheme was why Waller didn't do well. So I guess with Waller, it's a yes, but I didn't see a problem with the old head coach. It's not like I had a problem with how Gruden or Bisaccia used Darren Waller. So I would say, I guess, no, and I disagree with the premise of the question for Waller. So,
yeah, I was gonna say, does it get worse? It doesn't get worse, right?
No, it just makes no difference. The problem with Waller is, can he get back to his 2020 form from this mysterious injury that suddenly made him not good anymore? Is that, turning 30 in the middle, 30 early in the season, it's not like he's an ascending player who's improving. We're talking about a player who's at best in plateau or possibly in decline. So that's the question with Darren Waller, not does the new head coach scheme him correctly. I have confidence that if he's healthy and effective, that, he will produce fantasy points. I don't worry about the scheme in that way at all.
What's the first year you think people stop asking this question about Bryan Edwards?
I think people are done with Bryan Edwards.
Before 2025? No, I mean, we're getting the question now, right? They're not done. He's not done. People are in.
I think he is done. I think that they're going to sign multiple.
Nicholas isn't done with him, and there's a lot of people still.
Well, I think Nicholas will be done after they sign, Mike Williams or Chris Godwin in free agency, and then draft another receiver in the first or second round. I think then he'll be done.
I think 2025 is probably the first time. Like he's gonna have like 500 yards from now and then. Until then, we're still going to be getting.
I want to hear about.
We're still getting Nicole Hardman questions. It's no. Stop that.
Why do we still? I don't know why we still get Nicole Hardman questions.
Bryan Edwards is not. No.
It's no on Bryan Edwards. No. Oh, we have another super chat. I'll get it for us.
Wow. Addison, they all love Addison.
They do. The people love Addison. Okay. Is trading up to, this is a good question. Is trading up to 102 in this rookie draft worth the 105 and 108?
Can you clarify on Superflex or not? Because I do think it probably.
I'm not sure that would. I'm not sure that would really change my answer.
Yeah, I was questioning if that made a difference.
Well, I just don't know, if there's anybody at.
Because we don't know what we're trading for either way, so it's just kind of based on the pick curve. I would say probably not, but it's not that far off.
I feel like I'd want the 5 and 8, especially in a super flex, because I get 2 shots potentially at a quarterback right there.
It's funny. I actually was thinking it's the other way around. in a super flex, I don't think I'm getting a quarterback I want with the 5 or 8. With this 102, I definitely am. Whereas in a 1 QB, I'm not sure there are going to be 5 top tier prospects, and I might just want the one really good one. So it actually might be the other way around. That in a 1 QB, it's not super flex, just for the record. And with another super chat,
holy crap,
for not super flex. So thank you.
Addison, you have to do the show every week now. That's just how it's
apparently.
Right.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, definitely. But, I would say in a 1 QB, I'm lean the 102 because I just think that you're going to get a really top tier prospect. In a super flex, I'll probably go with I don't know. This is very close either way.
I think I'm team 5 and 8 in both of them.
I feel like I'd rather the better asset in the 1 QB.
Yeah.
I feel like in the 1 QB, I probably want one. I want the 1-2. Just because I feel more confident you're going to get a better asset there. Like in the super flex, I feel like the quarterbacks we need to see a little bit more, and like nobody's going to be super confident in any of them. You're probably going to be able to at 5 and 8 maybe even get 2 of them if you wanted, and it gives you more opportunities to hit on one. But in terms of the position players, like I feel like at 102, I feel more confident you're going to get a stud right there, or a potential stud.
Yeah. This is interesting, though.
It's very close.
I usually just don't make trades like this, though. So I don't.
Yeah.
Too much experience.
So looping back here, we're probably the wrong people to ask. Is Trey McBride too early to take
I can answer. And the answer is yes. It's way too early.
Yes.
Do not take a tight end in the first round of this year's rookie draft, no matter what.
Yes. Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah. Too early.
Nicholas, again, who do you think will blow up this year? Shi Smith or Tylan Wallace? Man,
Neither.
Nick's got all of the late round flyers, and he needs to know what is going on with them.
Yeah, neither. Yeah.
Like, did you have every 4th round pick in your draft, Nicholas? Is that the way?
I mean, Shi Smith was not drafted. Tylan Wallace was a 4th round pick that was a wasted pick.
Unfortunately, because Tylan Wallace is really good analytically, and it sucked that he didn't get the draft capital.
And he went to the Ravens too, of all places.
PJ, do you think Tampa Bay goes and gets a vet, or do they blow up the team?
I think they're going to go get Jameis Winston. I think so.
No,
I really do. I think that I do think so.
Bruce Arians hates Jameis Winston's guts.
No, Bruce Arians isn't going to be there.
They'll find a way to get along with Jameis Winston.
If Tampa Bay signs Jameis Winston, like Bruce Arians will retire the next day. It'll be
maybe he'll retire, but I do think that Jameis Winston is their best option.
It's possible, but there's no way.
Like legitimately, I think that is actually a likely outcome.
Man.
I love the clip of Bruce Arians on the sideline yelling at Jameis, "Stop throwing to the other team."
Well, Jameis threw fewer interceptions this year, despite having no weapons at all.
Yeah,
he got LASIK.
170 yards a game, though. You took the good out, and you got the bad out too, but you also got the good out.
Well, he wasn't throwing as much with New Orleans. He only threw like 20 pass attempts a game.
I'm saying like 180 yards a game. That's he wasn't as he had some good touchdown luck. I don't know. He may not be a bad option, but look, they're either going to get a veteran QB or, like I'm saying, like he's going to retire. Like Arians does not want a rookie. There's no way.
I think there is a real chance that it's Jameis Winston, though. In all seriousness, it's not going to be Kyle Trask. I can tell you that.
It's more likely to be Trask.
I hope it's not. They should take Mason Rudolph. I think they should do that. He's a very good quarterback.
I don't think so.
That's the Steelers fan. I love it.
This one's a good one. I like this one. Which tight end has more potential to be good in Dynasty, Kylan Granson or an Alberto? And
it's Alberto.
Yes. The better Denver.
The difference between Alberto and Noah Fant is minimal. Minimal difference. Minimal. You're talking 90% of Fant is Alberto. It's minimal difference. So I think it's Alberto.
Prepare yourself before you do this, because you're gonna be like maybe a little too excited, but go look at the player profiler page for Albert O, or go
Vernon Davis, right?
He's like 99 everything. He's like,
so Vernon Davis then.
Like if you were going to create a player in Madden, it would look like Albert O. Like that's that's who he would be.
So it'll be Vernon Davis.
I actually drafted Alberto. I have Madden 20, and in my franchise team, I did draft for it. I drafted Alberto, and he's like the number 1 tight end in production.
I would love to. I'd love to stash Alberto at his price for sure. I'm in. Kylan Granson, probably not.
Y'all still have not gotten to 816. I'm sitting here patiently waiting to get to
we're almost there. Where do y'all think T. Higgins' finish is next year?
Finishes? I mean, in Dynasty, I have Higgins. I've upgraded Addison. I'm not manually counting each receiver one at a time. I found a way to filter out. Like, we had that whole conversation. Now I filtered them. So I have T. Higgins at Dynasty wide receiver 11. And for rank next year, I'm not sure I'm going to rank him as a wide receiver 1 in redraft, but I'll probably rank him somewhere between 12 and 15. So
he's a strong wide receiver 2.
Yeah, strong 2. And then given his age, that's why he's a 1 in Dynasty, low end 1.
Yeah, top 12 for me. I think he's a wide receiver 1.
In redraft?
In both. I mean, he is an absolute stud, and the team's going to throw the ball a lot. And
unfortunately, Tyler Boyd's 94 targets are annoying. Like, if those didn't exist, if Tyler Boyd were gone and it was a real funnel, then I could see it. But unfortunately, I think that because of that, I'm not going to be able to rank Chase and Higgins in wide receiver 1 range in redraft. I'm just not going to be able to get there.
Bet on Burrow.
I'm not going to be able to get there.
Nicholas has all the stash questions.
No one's signing carry on failure. Next player.
Jesse, just want to say thank you guys for all you do, and thanks in advance for answering the questions. Can't stay and watch live, but I'll definitely be checking the replay tomorrow.
I mean, over 80% of last week's views were not live, just to give you an idea.
True.
Thank you for tuning in while you could, Jesse. And
so that people are with you, and that's not even including people who downloaded the podcast, which came out this week for the first time.
Oh,
true.
There it is.
Cal did extra work and made a Spotify feed. So if you don't care about looking and just want to listen, and that's easier for you, you have that as an option now.
It should be on iTunes very soon too.
Very soon. Yeah, it took my show with Ryan about a month. So hopefully we can be a little faster, but worst case.
Carp, I've gotten to the point now where we are at the responses to us answering the questions at the beginning of the show.
Oh, yay.
Sean in here, would the 103 and the 110 be too expensive for J.K. Dobbins?
That's not buying low. That's too expensive. I'm not doing that.
I think I would do that for Dobbins, but I wouldn't want to. I don't think you have to.
You shouldn't have to. I'm not doing that.
Could you do just the 103?
I mean, in a 1 QB, I would do that. In a Superflex, no.
Yeah, that's the thing is I don't know how much value the 110, and that's exactly where my brain went. Like, I think I'd do the 103 for him, but the 110, adding the 110, and then I think like, how much value is that 110 actually going to be? Who are you going to take at 110 that's going to make the difference between taking it or not?
You got a day 2 wide receiver there.
Yeah, I don't want to do this. This is not a winning trade. This is meh. I like to win.
Try to drop the 110. That would be what I would recommend. PJ said, give me the picks, and I love Dobbins. Interesting.
Yeah, I said the picks.
Traded away Keenan Allen as a rebuilding team for the 112 and 212 and Chuba Hubbard.
Probably the best you're ever going to get. So it's better than not making a trade. So yeah, it's good. Unfortunately, you're not going to do better.
I can drive now.
Up to?
Yeah, I can drive.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. Put on your analyst hat here, Addison. Fantasy Condo says Waddle plus what draft capital equals Justin Jefferson in a 10-team half PPR Superflex dynasty?
I still want a mid first with Waddle at least.
Late first.
Yeah.
The tier gap between those two, Jefferson and Chase and everyone else, is just massive to me. So
I was about to make a Kirk Cousins argument, but then remembered that Waddle has Tua. So
yeah,
mid to late first.
Yeah, mid first for me.
Yeah. I love the comments from the head coach so far about Tua. I mean, I know like we can't take everything that a coach says. I get that. But I like
comments aren't going to make him mobile again.
No, but I like that
Tua mobile again.
Is this the first
Wouldn't
time
that be
in the
nice,
NFL?
right? If the comments made him mobile again, but they're not going to.
The first time in the NFL, he's got a coach that wants him to be their quarterback.
I would be.
That's got to be good.
I would be more interested to see if the coach wants to utilize Waddle as he's meant to be utilized.
Which is
the 104 receptions is fantastic, but like when he's being utilized as a better version of what they had with Jarvis Landry 4 years ago, Waddle can take the top off of defenses and Tua can get it down there. I want to see a bigger ADOT. I don't want to see 6.6. I want to see
good with it.
8 to 9.
I'm good with it because that means I'm getting volume, and I want volume.
I like the volume. I just would prefer, like how it was like with Derrick Henry, where you love the volume that he's getting in rush attempts, but like, why don't you just throw him a screen, like 2 or 3 screen passes a game? Like, why don't you just throw Jalen Waddle like a couple deep bombs and just see what happens?
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm just not going to complain about Jalen Waddle's role.
I'm not. I'm
just happy with it.
I want the role plus 2 or 3 deep bombs a game.
Yeah, I mean, beggars can't be choosers.
Let's see. Let's read this random thought from Eric here. Random thought: I've come around that the non-elite young QBs have zero longevity. I could see a world where Russ and Stafford are starting longer than some of these guys like Zach Wilson and Justin Fields. That is something I actually played around with last season. Is like, if you had to choose who was going to have the most QB1 season or QB1 weeks from here forward, like, would you place a significant amount of money that meant something to you on more QB1 weeks from here forward, Russell Wilson or Justin Fields?
I'd bet on Russell Wilson, but I don't like Justin Fields.
Stafford or Zach Wilson?
That's
not
100%.
Zach Wilson.
Right. That's the fact that they're younger doesn't help them. Right?
Like, no, I'm not that ageist with quarterbacks like I am with other positions. I still am, but it's really with the very old or like with
Does
a
Aaron
much
Rodgers
older.
Have more QB1 weeks in his career than Zach Wilson? Moving forward,
he might, but I won't. Aaron Rodgers, I won't touch because I feel like there is a legitimate possibility that Aaron Rodgers could just decide he's retired at any time, any day. He could just be like, "I'm good." And Aaron Rodgers is just I won't touch him in Dynasty ever again. So he's always going to be like 5. He's currently 2 rounds higher than I have him ranked. I'll never touch Aaron Rodgers again in a Dynasty league. But that's just because I legitimately believe I can see it in his personality. He's the kind of person who could just walk away at any time. So that's a no. But Russ and Stafford are 4.5 and 5 years younger than Rodgers. So
I'm in.
I still feel like they have 5 years left each.
How about this hypothetical? What if Leonard Fournette goes to Arizona? So
sure.
No Chase Edmonds and no James Conner, I guess you have to kind of hope that neither one of them.
Sure, we can play what if. I mean, what if he goes to Arizona or what if he goes to Buffalo and forms a committee with Devin Singletary? I mean, how did committee go in Buffalo whenever it was a committee? It's totally unusable. Everyone was totally unusable. The only way anyone can be usable in Buffalo is if they get 80% of the work. So, you can say good destinations and you can come up with a bunch of bad ones. So I would prefer he stays because we know that they like him, at least the Arians anyway.
He can't go to Arizona because that'll interrupt my James Conner love. So
yeah, also like Arizona is not. I don't think Arizona is going to let Conner and Edmonds walk. I think that they re-sign Conner and let Edmonds walk.
Yeah,
personally.
I think his ADP would be a lot higher than RB27. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he is older, so I understand. I have Fournette at, actually, no, not that different. I have him at 28. I dropped him a lot when Brady retired. I have no interest in Fournette, really, after the Brady retirement.
He's younger than Aaron Jones. He's pretty close to Ezekiel Elliott. Younger,
yeah, I mean,
younger than Derrick
I don't have them that much higher. I have Aaron Jones at 23 and Ezekiel Elliott at 24. So it's not like I have them way higher. The only difference is that Leonard Fournette is a free agent and could go to a horrible situation. Whereas I know that Aaron Jones and Ezekiel Elliott will at least give me something. Whereas Leonard Fournette has more uncertainty.
Richard, 10-team Superflex traded Nick Chubb and Melvin Gordon for ETN, Fournette, a late second and third, 23 and 23 thirds. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't even, I guess, but why? This is, I would approach this differently. Maybe you could do this. Sure. I don't know. This is not, the value actually isn't bad, but I would approach this differently. Like, I would try to just sell Gordon for that late second by himself. See if you can do that. Maybe you can't. Maybe I'm fine just taking 2/3 for Gordon or whatever. And then I would try to just sell Chubb for something else. Like, I don't want Fournette. I would just try to do a different deal for Chubb that I liked better. So this is not what I would do if I had Chubb. It's getting a running back I don't want. Like, I want to get something I like a little better.
This one starred. I don't know if you guys covered it. One more for you. 12-team Superflex, Josh Allen or Swift and Baker?
No, I started because I thought this was a good question. Just for me to highlight how much those stud quarterbacks are worth. Because we had another question about Swift and Dak, who I see very differently from Josh Allen. I would take Josh Allen here.
Yeah. I don't actually know how you feel about ETN. Addison, what do you think?
He graded out as the best rookie running back in analytically in all that I look at in the markers that I was telling you about in our show that we did a couple Saturdays ago. So check that out. He graded out as an 8 out of 8 marker guy, which was the only running back in the class to do that last year. Javonte was at 7. Najee was at 5, but I gave Najee a pass on a couple of them. So he was a 7 as well.
Yeah, but the track record of players who missed their entire rookie year is
not good.
Awful.
Track record of running backs on the Jacksonville Jaguars over the last 5 or 6 years, also not very good.
Yeah, I mean, how many players really missed their entire rookie year for any reason, and then we're good?
I would buy ETN if you can get him for a couple seconds.
I'm fine with him. His price is very reasonable. I mean, it's right around where I have him ranked. It's not unreasonable. I just I feel like he's often held by truthers, so the price is actually higher. Sure. Cost to acquire is actually higher in a trade. I'm more likely to get him on my team by drafting him in a startup now than I would be in a trade. He's not a trade target for me.
Sergio asked 12-team Superflex, would you trade away Stephon Diggs in the 107 for T-Law or T-Lance?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll take either quarterback.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Lawrence, but I'd take either quarterback.
I would also rather Lawrence.
Yeah.
Ooh, you'd rather have Lance?
Yeah, Lawrence sucks.
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
Do you want to talk? We just mentioned about how bad running backs are on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Should I show you how bad quarterbacks are on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I believe Blake Bortles was very fantasy relevant in 2016 and 2017. I believe he was quarterback 1 for parts of those seasons.
Is it
yeah,
the teal?
He had Allen Robinson.
Is it the teal? Is that what it does? Is it the teal? Is there a study like something about the teal color, or like Jacksonville itself? Is like, does it like take away?
I think it's Jacksonville, the city itself. Like
the humidity, maybe.
Like the other 2 Florida cities are fantastic, but like where Jacksonville's located in Florida, just like right up there on the north, on whatever that is just it's too close to Alabama for me.
That's the analysis for us right there.
I heard a rumor that they're interested in Jaguars are interested in making a big splash in free agency at the wide receiver position.
Stop.
Let's
go.
Are
they offering $30 million to come to Jacksonville?
I do hear that they're going to have to offer a premium for anyone to come to
Jacksonville is not a premier destination for
exactly. So they're going to have to pay more.
Oh my goodness.
Is there anybody better at picking jobs than Doug Peterson? Like, he followed Chip Kelly, following Urban Meyer. Like,
I do not like Doug Peterson, but the hire could be worse.
Nicholas, my favorite thing about this is that like there is no 4th round rookie pick so far on this team.
Yeah.
What's Zach Moss? Actually, I see.
Okay.
Yeah. This is not the kind of this is a lot of too personal.
What should my next move in a rebuild? 12-team, 1 QB. I got Kyler Murray, no good running backs. Best is Zach Moss. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson, Christian Kirk, tight end Waller, 103, 107, 109, 202, 304. What do you think? He's got some.
Yeah, get rid of Waller. But,
yeah, we're moving Waller.
Yeah, but these types of questions are a little too detailed, personal for the show.
Yeah. Should he
try to get a 24 first for Darren Waller? I wonder if that could happen.
Yeah, you could try that.
Find a contender who really believes in Waller. You're not getting 23.
No, not
try 24.
No. Could you get Irv Smith and a 2024 first?
Maybe. Get greedy. I mean, always get greedy.
Doug Peterson loves gross running backs by committee. You know what, though? Everybody who has coached Miles Sanders has done the same thing to him. So I don't know if that was Peterson or just that's Miles Sanders.
Yeah, that's probably true. But,
the hope with ETN is he gets like a lighter version of DeAndre Swift and Alvin Kamara's workload. Like he gets
we also have no idea
4 or 5 receptions.
How James Robinson is going to come back.
We don't know. Cam Akers. That's the new Achilles.
There's one Cam Akers.
Hey, after somebody broke the 5-minute mile, like it just kept happening over and over again, right? So we've seen Cam Akers do it. Robinson's
I don't
Foreman. We can include him in there.
Yeah, 4 years later.
I think Foreman actually was better this year than he ever was on the Texans. So
yeah, but that was 4 years. It took him 4 years to actually come back and have any relevance at all. I don't know. That's not good.
Okay, here we go. The best 2774. If you want to stay the best, don't do this. 10-team Superflex PPR. I am in a rebuild and should be ready to compete after next year. Is Swift someone I should be selling or hold on to him until I'm able to compete again? Don't sell Swift.
I wouldn't sell Swift now. His value is a pretty low, so I would.
There you go.
Hang on. Yeah.
Bo adopted a 2019 team. Okay. Currently have 2022. All those picks.
Holy moly.
Adopted a 2019 team. What does that mean?
It took over an orphan.
Took over an orphan in 2019.
Okay.
And he said,
I'm not sure why that's like, should people be including when they started their team?
I don't know.
The questions.
I like it because when he took over the team, it probably was like a full on rebuild, as most orphans are. And I like that he went for future firsts. I like that as a rebuild.
He said he adopted it.
Yeah,
I like that.
But I don't know. How do we help? I don't know. Unless there's more to this question, we'll move on.
You can't make all these picks.
Yeah, you can.
No. I definitely think you can.
Yeah.
Okay, you shouldn't make all these picks.
Too
many.
I'm fine with it.
How many?
Nah, you take them all.
How many?
In Trade Addicts 8, I have this year. I have 27 rookie picks. So clearly, I don't have a problem with making all these.
Continue to use them to use some of them and then kick some of them down the road and get picks next season.
I might do that with a few, but I've already set up my roster that I have enough room for all 27 rookie picks, so I'm good.
No, yeah, I do agree. Well, 108, try to get a 23 first. Try to package a couple seconds.
Well, you can always try, right? But
try to do those things.
Yeah.
And then the additional way we help is by hitting the subscribe button on this YouTube channel so that as we get more rookie content over the next couple months, you will know who to draft with those picks.
Yeah, I promise I will give you more rookie content as time passes.
Hey, P2 Thar says I could be down for an entire stream of Tyler ripping horrible trades.
Oh, you missed it. It was great.
Honestly, I really truly believe that people would be happier with my content if I were never nice, if I were only mean and I just played into that side of me forever. I'm not going to do that because that's not how I act. That's not who I am as a person. That isn't really me. I'd be playing a character, but I do often think that I would do better if I were like that, but I refuse to do it. I'm nice when I'm nice and I'm mean when I'm mean. I'm just being kind of how I feel in the moment. So, whatever it is. But if you make good trades, believe me, I'll compliment you on those. I don't always have to be mean, but I do get this feedback a lot that people's favorite moments are when I'm really brutal.
You could be like the fantasy Gordon Ramsay and just
Oh, I love Gordon Ramsay though. I do love Gordon Ramsay. This is a side note. I love Gordon Ramsay.
Superflex 201 or Kirk Cousins?
Kirk Cousins. 201. Not good enough. No Superflex.
Cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, don't
that's
what I'm not saying. Like when I say I don't really love like Carr or Cousins or Tua, I'm not saying that I want to just give them away for an early second. You're never going to recoup that value of a starting quarterback with a 201. You're just not going to do that. So, to just make sure that when you ask about players, give a specific pick value, because me saying I don't like them and doesn't mean that it's not this low.
Good reminder, I feel like you should apologize to Kirk Cousins for even asking this. Like, send him a message on Twitter apologizing.
201 is not low enough for an apology. If it were 205 or 206, maybe.
Okay, Addison, good person to ask this. What's your strategy on the 101 this year?
I feel Superflex?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh no. It probably ends up being Malik Willis.
Oh,
but who knows? The strategy is to hold the pick and wait and not trade it now.
Yeah, I would love to, as we get closer, as rookie fever starts going, and then actually when we get to the point where we like can really start attaching names to these picks is going to be super helpful. Because you might be able to trade this down and maybe do like a 103 and another first, or a 103 and a 23 first, or something like that. Like you might be able to pull something like that, because that 101, you got the golden apple right there. And as we get closer and closer,
the only thing is you're not going to know now if there's that one player that you want. There may or may not be.
Yeah,
you're not going to know that until after the draft this year. Whereas last year, you knew it was Trevor Lawrence the whole time.
Rad says 12 teams Superflex 101 and 104, or Justin Jefferson.
Jefferson.
He didn't specify it was Justin. If it's Jamar, I'll take the picks. I will take Justin Jefferson. And I will
Higgins
take
or
T.
the
Higgins.
113. Come on.
T. Higgins, easy. Unless it's Rashard Higgins, and that's a 113.
Yeah, like Eric says, Higgy all day. Let's see. I don't know if he just says, give me Penny and Ridley. This must have been from a question earlier.
This was a long time ago, yeah.
Nate once says, should I trade Nick Chubb this offseason? If so, what value should I look for? Non-Superflex 12 team.
I feel like we talked about what we wanted in return for Chubb earlier in the show, so it's back there. We had a discussion about that, but yes.
Could you get 2 firsts? Could you get 2?
I don't think so. You can try, but I don't think so.
I don't think you could. Honestly, I feel like at this point, yes, if you can get good value for him, or if you're just a team that is definitely rebuilding and you want those points off your team, you'd have to trade him. But I don't know if I say you should. You can just have the rest of his career. If you don't trade him now, you're not going to get good value for him. His value is only going to decline from here forward.
Generally, Chubb is unpopular among anyone who's really paying attention to fantasy football. Whenever I post my rankings, I get a lot of, Chubb is too low, from the people who aren't paying attention to fantasy football and think my list is a list of running backs from 1 to 12 in terms of talent. Then I hear a lot of Chubb is too low. But generally among people who actually pay attention to fantasy points, Chubb is not that popular.
Keenan Allen or 112.
We did this one already.
Okay. Nicholas tried to send my 107 and 2 2023 seconds for Jameer Jefferson. No, I'm kidding. Elijah Moore, but he wouldn't take it. Walk away or pay more. Rebuilding 1 QB 12 team.
I think you got to walk away. If this wasn't good enough, it's probably going to cost too much.
I agree.
Let's see. Yep. Walk away. Eric is facts. I love this. Eric getting some love in the chat room. Love it. Keep going. Richard, 10 team Superflex, Mike Evans and 205 for Bateman and 109.
Oh, I'll take Bateman and 109, and then I want Bateman off my team that day.
Wow.
PJ wants to co-host the show where you just rip on trades. I feel like PJ would be good for that.
No, I don't think so. I think whoever would be good for that would be someone who does not mind talking for about 5% of the show.
Andrew says, what wide receivers stand out in the 2022 rookie class? I'm assuming.
Yeah, that the rookie glass would be a little different. Treylon Burks is the standout receiver in this class, but it's not to the level of previous years.
Explain your face, Addison.
What's the face?
So Matt Wallman brought up a good point, but I have also been thinking this for a good while, basically since the season actually ended, is that we are too high on Treylon Burks, is that we've just put him up here on this pedestal without any, like, just because he's there. And I have a feeling that he is not as good as what people actually put him up to be. There is no Jamar Chase in this class. There's no Justin Jefferson in this class. There's not even a CeeDee Lamb.
Hold on, though. Wait a minute. Justin Jefferson was not a bulletproof or golden prospect at all. Not at all. I mean, he was not the second prospect in that class for most people. It's great in hindsight, but the debate pre-draft was between Lamb and Judy as the top prospect. Jefferson was a tier down.
So I agree with you at the time.
But in other words, I think that is just he's not. There's not going to be anybody that's going to produce the way those two did, and I think we're a little.
We don't know that. We don't know that because people didn't think Jefferson would produce the way he did either, and he did.
I feel like we know.
What I'm talking about is there's no sterling prospect like Jamar Chase was. Amari Cooper was like a sterling top tier prospect, perfect style prospect. Sammy Watkins even level prospect. Sammy Watkins didn't work out, but as a prospect, he was top tier, like a lock. There's nobody anywhere near that level this year. Nobody like that.
Yep, 100% agree.
Finn is kind of what player would you try to acquire by trading Clyde Edwards-Helaire plus Rondale Moore together, 10-team Superflex, half PPR?
Well, we've gotten that far in the show that your team will actually be improved if you get rid of Clyde Edwards-Helaire because you're removing failure from your team. If you started him this year, you were burned on multiple occasions, and he infected your team with a stench of failure. So if you remove him, you're actually going to be better. So I would say that, I don't know. I mean, how about Elijah Moore? He's always my name in these, but that would be my highest target if I could put these two together and get to Elijah Moore. If I can't do that, maybe a buy low on Chris Godwin. How about that? People are worried about the injury. I would consider that. And then if I look a little bit more down, we're already starting to get to the point where the value's not there, but Devonta Smith, maybe Michael Pittman.
Devonta Smith is the one. If you could get him,
I would love to do that. Yeah, I would love to do that, but I would like Godwin more.
How about Terry McLaurin?
Well, I have McLaurin a little bit higher than Smith, but I think that's not realistic. Well, people are down on Terry though. Maybe it is realistic. I mean, I would try that. I would love to have Terry McLaurin turn these two into Terry McLaurin. I could do that. I mean, I don't want any failure on my team. These two are also very vulnerable right now. Very vulnerable. If the Chiefs sign, and I think they will, if they sign Melvin Gordon or Sony Michel, I think Clyde is a backup. I think so. I think he's the backup to those players. I think that's what he should be, a backup. I think that's the talent he has, is a backup. And then Rondale Moore, also very vulnerable. If they re-sign, they drafted Rondale Moore as a replacement for Christian Kirk, right? It was obvious that, Rondale Moore plays in the slot and Christian Kirk excels in the slot. So obviously they drafted Moore in the second round with the idea that Kirk is a free agent after 2021 and they would let him walk. If they now reverse course and re-sign Christian Kirk in free agency, that means they just are done with Rondale Moore. That's very bad. So, they're vulnerable. Both of these two players to a massive value decline in about a month. So I would get rid of them right now before that happens, because I think it's not that unlikely in both cases.
Grant says, hi, Tyler. Hi, Addison. I'm here now, too. So you can say hi to all of us. Just joined late. Wonder if this is a sell high window for Amon St. Brown. What are the odds Detroit drafts a top wide receiver? Tyler?
Those are two separate questions.
Yes. Most people are combining those, but yes, they are two separate questions.
Not the same thing. Amon-Ra is a very good player. He showed that he was good. He displayed skills that are not going to go away just because another receiver is drafted. So how high can you sell him for? I mean, if I could turn him into Elijah Moore or Devonta Smith, I would.
For mid-first, yes. Like Eric says here, you have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, a super flex, I would definitely take a mid-first over him because that could give me a chance at a quarterback that I wouldn't have otherwise. But generally, no, I don't think it's a sell high window for Amon-Ra.
For some reason, so the interview that I did with Adam Harshad that's coming out Saturday, Amon-Ra came up a lot. And so you'll get a good answer about Amon-Ra if you watch that. And
I'm very fine with Amon-Ra. I mean, I rank him. Let's see. I rank him almost exactly in the same spot as his ADP. So I clearly don't think that he's necessarily a sell high.
Let's see.
They're going to acquire a receiver, though. They're going to. They're not going to go in with this room. But who knows?
They have to.
Going to be.
PJ, you have to watch Saturday. You have to, because I basically said this to Adam and he responded. So you have to.
But I'm also not. I'm in the middle on Amon-Ra. My rank is essentially with the consensus.
Would you trade 108?
Yep, we did that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Bengals or Rams?
Oh, we haven't talked about this at all, even for a second. I mean, I'd probably Rams. I'll pick the Rams. I think they're the better
Y'all are
team.
both crazy. So I announced my temporary fandom to the Bengals as soon as the Saints were eliminated, and ever since the Bengals have not lost.
The LSU Bengals.
Yes. That's exactly right. Hey, PJ wants his T-shirt, Addison.
I know.
Well, Addison says I need to talk to my agent about getting those image rights.
He needs Carp needs some NIL, and we'll be good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to wrap up. We are a little bit of overtime here, but I'm trying to go through.
In case people actually think I have an agent, I don't.
Ed, 100% nailed it. We've got too many people in the chat that only have 3 likes. Make sure you do that. You got to hit the
like and subscribe. Oh, and Addison's here. So we can say in front of him that we know that he gets happier when there are any likes or subscriptions to the DLF channel.
You'll notice every single time that you've hit the like button, he has smiled. It happens. Make sure you're doing. And if you're watching this after, wherever you are, whenever you hit the like button, he could be asleep. It doesn't matter. Addison gets happy when you hit the like button.
He'll know somehow.
He'll know. Let's see. TikTok 08. That's the exact reason I have Dalvin Cook.
I was talking about how I would never have Dalvin Cook unless I inherited an orphan. But it's something that could happen. So
people are excited. You guys killed it. You guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Ridley Truther. Yo, fellas, would you trade Robert Woods for any second rounder at this point? Just put up a message. Any second for Woods gets auto accepted in a league chat.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't think he's worth much more than that.
I think maybe produce next year. I don't think he's dead.
He's a 30-year-old coming off a torn ACL. I'm not like investing anything major into him.
If it was like 206 or later, I would take Robert Woods.
I'm not that far off. In a 1 QB, I have the line set at 207.
Yep.
So 208 or later.
You're not getting anything with that pick, so I'd just rather take Robert Woods.
I have a team's. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, with a 30-year-old coming off a torn ACL, you might not be getting much either. It's up in the air.
Trogor has a 2023 first, and his team is garbage. Would you trade to this team to make them better in the short term, risking their first? You have getting worse, I guess, becoming a later pick. Trade Penny for 2022 111. These feel like 2 different questions.
That's like a little cute, like. I'll just take the 111 and be happy with the trade I'm making now and then worry about whose pick I'm making in 23 worse later. Like I want the 111 over Penny. So I'm just going to do that and not over. This is a little much.
And you're probably making him worse by trading him Penny anyway.
Yeah. I'm not sure how much that improves him. I mean, we'll see, but I would take the 111 over Penny for sure.
People are crazy on Penny right now.
I mean, I don't think that, in a 1 QB, Penny I have ranked around in equivalent value to the 202.
PJ says, Cal, the best. So this is because I told him he should sell. I don't remember who it was. Tyson Williams.
Tyson Williams.
And we made a bet. So he has to say this. Talk more about 2022 rookies. I have the 101. I don't know what to do. Andrew, there's going to be a lot of great content on rookies.
So much content.
So make sure you are subscribed.
Yeah, no, you're definitely. Yeah, subscribe to the DLF channel. There's going to be more content on rookies. There's also the rankings, which I talked about. Soon we're going to have the rookie ADP. Although since the Super Bowl is a week later, that means MFL rollover is a week later, which means the rookie ADP for February is going to be a week later. So that's why it's not out yet.
You will be tired of the rookie conversation at the end of April with how much rookie content.
Probably. Yeah. Or maybe not for me. Maybe not for me. I don't talk about rookies that much, honestly.
Hey, yeah, here we go. This is about the time I showed up. Appreciate all of the kind words here. Grimunder.
Video chat got cooler by 1 Calvin.
I love it.
What a 12-team
Superflex 105 or 201 and a 2023 first.
201 and 23 first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's a little closer though, because like 104, I feel like I'd kind of rather just stay at the top there.
Yeah. That's it.
Superflex.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dustin Stevens has the 201, 203, 206. Do you guys have any strategies to try to either move into the first or deals to make for players? Yeah, I like the idea of thinking about packaging these together and getting a better player. I like that.
Yeah, I generally just the odds that I'm going to like a trade where I'm moving picks for players now are slim. So I typically don't do a lot of those, but if you can get a good player, I would do it.
Yeah. Package 2 into a late first, 108.
Typically this time of year, I'm on the side trading players away.
Would you do 203 and 206 for Kadarius Toney?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too. Let's see.
Or yeah, do it. PJ said trade those for 2023 picks. If you can turn the 201 into a random 2023 first.
Wow. There's no way you can do that.
If you could turn, send all 3 of them. Just 201, 203, 206, 1 2023 first.
I'd rather have 123 first than all 3 of those picks.
Absolutely. But you could try.
That you might be able to do.
Yep. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's I think this is the one thing I feel like on picks for now in 2022, you almost have to trade them. I don't know if you can trade them like at the very end. I just think there's going to be a cutoff. And I think if people look at it and they say like, man, that 206 is going to be out of the window, like you might be better off trading it before.
Well, last year in Superflex, that window was what? Like 20 players? I think it was 208.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
It actually depended on if you included Kadarius Toney or not.
Mm-hmm.
It was 19 or 20, depending on whether you included Toney or not.
Yep. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. Did you guys notice any sort of hope potential in Dwayne Eskridge? He got injured, concussed a lot this year.
0. Already going to be 25. 0.
Matt Wallman does like him, but
I don't care.
I agree. Trade away Eskridge.
It doesn't matter. This is one of those examples. It does not matter. Unless Dwayne Eskridge was the best player of all time. This is part of what I want to talk about. If your situation is horrific, you have to be amazing. You have to be stellar. You have to be outstanding to overcome it. And just to give you an idea, neither Jerry Jeudy nor Rashad Bateman is that. They're not outstanding. We're talking about someone like A.J. Brown who overcame a bad situation in Tennessee from the start. That's the level of outstanding you often need to be. So forget Dwayne. If Jeudy and Bateman don't qualify for good enough to overcome it, forget Dwayne Eskridge. He's not going to overcome a bad situation at all. Forget that.
He should never have been drafted as high as he was
in
the NFL draft. He
shouldn't have been. I mean, he was to me more of a 4th or a 5th round pick.
Him, Anthony Schwartz, and Tutu Atwell, and like all those guys were like, why were you second rounders?
Terrible picks.
All right, we're going to try and go rapid fire some of these and wrap up here. Caleb says, appreciate the content. Superflex tight end plus time of premium, Waddle, and a 2023 first or Akers and Ayuk.
Waddle.
Yeah, good.
All the Waddle.
Recently traded the 110 and 112 for Deshaun Watson and a 12-team Superflex. What are your thoughts?
Love it.
I'll take Watson.
Absolutely love it.
I hate Watson, but I like that trade.
What extra would you try to get on top of the 105 for a random 2023 first? And
extra. I think that you would need extra with a 23 first. Right?
Yeah. So he has the 105 and trying to trade it for a random 2023 first. What extra does?
Yeah, first and second.
Tua.
That's 20. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah,
23
first and second for the 105.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. No. Yeah. PJ. No way. Once it goes to.
I think it's more likely than you think.
It's the least likely thing.
I actually think. Well, we'll see. We'll see. That's the one thing about free agency is it's very unpredictable.
Right, but some things we can predict.
No. Who predicted that Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith would both sign in New England last year? Who predicted that?
Yeah,
Tell me.
Belichick didn't have a history of hating either. 12 teams Superflex PPR, but contender I got offered Mahomes, Christian McCaffrey, Terry McLaurin for my Burrow, Lamb, and 2 firsts. Should you take it? Burrow plus what equals Mahomes?
Not a first anymore. Not even a second, really. Maybe a second. I mean, I will take the Burrow side.
Man.
I'll take the Burrow side.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want.
I think I like the Mahomes side.
Yeah, it's too many.
Does him being a contender make a difference?
Yeah, because those are probably late first. Either way, on either side of this, those are probably late first.
I worry about this. Because
Lamb and
I don't know
McLaurin
how much
are kind
McLaurin's
of
going to give you next year. I would never do this trade ever. So I'd never give the Burrow side to get the Mahomes side in any circumstance. So you'll never see me make this trade. I'd consider doing it the other way.
Jacob's drafted next week. Where would you consider taking Malik Willis? Jeez, him in 12 teams Superflex rookie draft? It's number 1.
Yeah. I mean, if you're drafting, so legitimately the draft is next week. So you ignore what I usually say. In this case, right now I have Malik Willis ranked number 1 in Superflex, but I would consider him. I would consider Hall, and those would really be my 2 that I'd be considering.
I feel like Malik Willis is going to get a lot of hype leading up to the draft, and so I'd take him 1 and then maybe flip him before the draft even takes place. 310 for Trask in a 1 QB league.
1 QB Trask has no value at all.
Yeah,
so
you take anything.
I'll take anything. Yeah,
take $50 in fab budget for Trask if you can. Like literally, anything in a 1 QB league.
Pick rounds 1 through 5 in a 1 QB for Trask. I don't think he has any value.
2 days ago, Tampa Bay said they're interested in Bridgewater. He feels like the worst fit in an Arians offense of all time.
I would rather them stay with Trask. What's the point then?
I'd rather that they go to Winston over Bridgewater, but I also think that they could. I mean, he was the betting favorite at one point. I think they could go to Jimmy G.
Terrible fit.
Yeah, I think
wants to push the ball down the field. Bridgewater wants to throw the ball behind the line.
Yeah, I don't think Bridgewater is going to work, even though he's the betting favorite. I do think, though, what if they make a big move for Aaron Rodgers? I think that would be interesting. Somehow they pull that off. I don't think it's likely, but I think it would be
Trubisky. It's going to be Trubisky.
Trubisky, I think, is more likely than Bridgewater.
It'd be better than Bridgewater as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Higgins still has a ton of TD upside because he's a big body in the red zone with a lack of tight ends.
I mean, Uzama was better than people think, but Higgins upside. The thing is, I think Higgins' ceiling is wide receiver 7 or 8, so it's hard to rank him at wide receiver 10. Then, if that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Addison, a TJ Hawkinson question. Is he worth the 105 in a super flex if you need a tight end?
Dang it. I wish he was.
Are we talking about a tight end premium?
It doesn't matter. I mean,
yes, it does.
He's not a difference maker yet.
I don't think it matters if it's tight end premium or not.
I'll take Hawkinson and a tight end premium over the 105, even in super flex. Yes. I'm very in, apparently. I have him ranked.
I do like him a lot.
Yeah, I have TJ Hawkinson ranked a round and a half or more above his ADP.
Wow.
I got one.
I did the whole TJ Hawkinson speech at the, people said that TJ Hawkinson had a down year, right? He had a down year.
He had a lot of good things. A lot of great things about TJ.
It was so bad. It was so bad that he improved his receptions per game, right? Improved receptions. That's very bad. Improved yards per game with a worse quarterback in both cases. Improved those things. Better catch rate. He caught more of his passes, which he's improved every year. And then the other thing is that he doesn't turn 25. The critical breakout age for tight ends, 25 years old. He doesn't turn that until this summer. So improvement from year 1 to year 2 to year 3 on a per game basis. And then the breakout age is coming now when most of the improvement, occurred from a step down in quarterback from year 2 to year 3, despite that. So, people are down on TJ Hawkinson very wrongly. They should, I think they should correct that because, those reasons that I just said are good reasons to be in on TJ Hawkinson.
Scott made a good trade. It's right there on the screen.
Well, that is a monster trade. You got Waddle and Pittman for Keenan Allen. I mean,
I think you got the 106.
Yeah, it was turned into Waddle, but here, I'll give you some applause for that. Applause for that trade. That is a very good move.
This is one of my favorite comments. I love, give me a hard time. I do like it. Comments aren't going to get through an arm either. I'm not saying comments are going to be the difference, right? Like
I said that. What did I say about Tua?
Look,
I said that the new coach was not going to restore his mobility. So this is a reference on that.
Yeah, I like Tua, and I like the coach.
Oh, I like the coach. I actually just wrote about the coach when I was writing about my best landing spot for Kenneth Walker.
Oh,
yeah, I was talking about how I would really like him to land at what was it, 50th overall to Miami. I think that's like a good landing spot where he could come in and take a lion's share of carries from the beginning. And Mike McDaniel, ran the 49ers run game, which we always target, despite produced without talented player. I mean, not untalented, but without like star players, it still produced running backs we wanted. So, I kind of want a running back who goes to that system. That sounds like someone I want to target.
Wrap it up. 1 QB non-Superflex league. Do I keep Tua, Fields, or Hurts?
Hurts. 1 QB, Hurts easy. I don't care about many years. So Hurts.
A lot of people would say Fields, though. I think, yeah.
In a 1 QB next year is all that matters for a quarterback. I'll take Hurts.
10-team Superflex, full PPR. Antonio Gibson, 205, 4, Chubb in the 107.
Well, I mean, Gibson and Chubb are almost equivalent. So 107. 107 side, yeah.
Yeah, Hurts, Fields, Tua. You're looking to move Metcalf? No.
Hard no. Metcalf is a hold or a buy. Definitely not looking to move Metcalf.
Metcalf was the wide receiver 4 when Geno Smith was his quarterback last year.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Metcalf. I don't think he forgot how to play football.
How'd you travel your personal? This is probably a question for
where is this question? I can star this question and I will talk about it in the article, but even so, like this is probably this is going to be a tough question to answer in anything other than me just coaching you on how to help.
I could make a YouTube video about this question.
Yes. And subscribe to the YouTube channel because Addison will make probably 13 to 27 versions of this question between now and
this is definitely more a video that Addison would make than me.
Yeah. FF Lefty, 12-team Superflex and mini rebuild, trying to get rid of Singletary. Good move. Decline the 207 straight up or take what I can get. I don't think that's enough.
I feel so light. Doesn't that feel light?
But look, at the beginning of last year, would you have taken a second for Singletary?
Absolutely. I mean, Singletary wasn't worth anything. So, yeah.
I think they're going to bring somebody in, too. So
I would take the 207.
What if maybe instead, I don't know, do you think you can make maybe a different move if someone's really down on like Rondale Moore? People really don't like Rondale Moore. You think you can turn Singletary into Rondale Moore instead?
I'd love
to.
Yeah, or maybe there are some other options, but
could you trade him for
Michael Gallup?
Hunter Renfrow?
No, not Hunter Renfrow. The production was too strong. What about Michael Gallup? Maybe. I don't know.
I think I'd rather take the shot on Singletary.
But in a rebuild, Singletary is not.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, you could definitely trade Singletary for Christian Kirk, which I might suggest doing.
Taylor made 10-team Superflex PPR ETN 205 or Chubb. We did this one.
I don't understand. Oh, well, no, it was Gibson, but I don't understand that question because Chubb is worth more than ETN, not less.
Yeah, that one's Chubb as well. Easy.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. What can I expect to get in return from Michael Pittman? 12-team PPR, 1 QB.
Yeah, I started this one mostly because I just want to talk about Pittman generally and kind of do a little recap of his season. But Pittman is not someone you're trading away. Pittman is a stronghold because people don't like him. There's like an air of stink around him, and I think he's talented, and I don't want to move him. So yeah, we're talking about buying Pittman.
I would sell for a top 3 first.
Yeah, so would I. But you're not. There's no way you're getting that.
Tommy, do you think Ayuk is worth more with Trey Lance at QB?
I don't know. Maybe, but maybe not. I did not move Ayuk's ranking when the 49ers confirmed that they were going to trade Jimmy Garoppolo, or that was their intention. So I would say I had no value change.
I still don't think Ayuk his value is not based on the quarterback. It's still based on how Kyle Shanahan feels about him. Because if Shanahan doesn't like him, he's not going to play him as much, and it's not going to matter.
I have Ayuk, Judy, and Claypool all kind of together. That I have issues with all of them, but they're all talented.
Yeah.
They have different issues.
Nicholas has a feeling Burks is going to bust like N'Keal Harry.
Not with you, unfortunately.
I don't know if it's going to be that, but
I mean, N'Keal Harry is one of the biggest busts of all time. I mean, one of the best prospects who did one of the least. I mean, if you evaluate it versus how good prospect was to what they did, N'Keal Harry is a contender for the biggest bust of all time at wide receiver.
I would argue N'Keal Harry was a better prospect than Treylon Burks is.
I mean, N'Keal Harry was a top level prospect. The one thing he didn't have was his draft capital was a little low. Like a strong wide receiver prospect, I would like to see go in the top 15. He was only the 32nd pick. So that was actually the biggest detractor of his prospect profile was the draft capital. I would have liked it to be higher.
I am almost certainly going to download this and take that clip of Addison saying that N'Keal Harry is a better prospect than
I don't know if that's a hot take, though. It might be just because we have bias.
No, I think it's correct. I think pre-draft capital, it's correct.
If you factor, I think it's correct. It will just be very fun to hear people comment.
I just think that I would change that. If Treylon Burks went 15th overall, that would be enough for me to swing it the other way.
So here's the thing. I just looked at Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. He's got Treylon Burks going number 8 to the Atlanta Falcons. Jeez, I just don't think there's any way that happens. He doesn't go that high, right?
I think it's possible.
I think it is possible that he does go that high because the NFL sees a size speed combo wide receiver that does freakish things on the field, and the NFL overvalues that.
Okay, so here's the other problem, though, is I do think he's going to be the first wide receiver taken. But if you look at the spots for a first wide receiver, where is he going to go that's good? I mean, I would say the Atlanta is the first team that could be interested in a wide receiver at 8. I don't think anyone before them is going to take a wide receiver that high. So Atlanta at 8 is not good for a wide receiver. Denver at 9, the Jets at 10, then Washington, the Commanders, Minnesota, Cleveland, Baltimore, Philly. Which one of those? Where is what's good there?
He could take a tumble.
But what's good there? What spot there is good? I mean, Cleveland, Baltimore is the worst.
I just don't think they're. I actually can't imagine the Falcons making that pick. I mean, maybe they do, but I just can't.
I think it's more likely
them.
They do than. I mean, Denver isn't going to do that. The Jets could. The Jets could at 10. The Jets at 10, I think, are a wild card for a receiver, actually, that people are not considering because Corey Davis was didn't work out well in free agency. Elijah Moore is great, but is he enough to carry an entire offense? I think the Jets at 10 are a wild card for receiver. Washington's going to pick a quarterback at 11, so it's not going to be them.
I bet you if Burks is there for Philly, they take him because they need that big body wide receiver.
I think he'll be gone. I think he'll be gone by 15 and 16. I do agree with you. I was about to say,
I bet that they might try to trade up like what they did for Devonta Smith. They might try to bump a couple of teams.
The problem is that my guess is Burks is 13 to Cleveland.
Yeah,
that would be my projection. First wide receiver taken, 13 to Cleveland.
If he falls outside the top 10, I would be on Philadelphia Eagles trade up for Burks watch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking here at the NFL mock database, and the majority selection is 13 to Cleveland, and the other popular ones are 18 to the Saints, and then there's a couple people saying Philly. But yeah, 13 to Cleveland is by far the majority.
He is saying AJ Brown is that that Treylon Burks is a taller version of AJ Brown.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good.
It's been the closest. It's been the closest comp that he's gotten.
Well, I'm in on a taller version.
Why do we?
I do have one. Okay, I have one landing spot circled. I have 17 Chargers. 17 Chargers circled for whoever goes there. I'm gonna like that one. That one I'm gonna like if anyone goes there.
They can't do it because they're signing Allen Robinson.
No, the Patriots are signing Allen Robinson.
It's gonna be weird when Michael Thomas ends up there. So,
yeah.
David Sheehan, Tyler's take on CEH. Help me sell him for Claypool in 2023 second a month ago, and I literally
I love it.
Every Clyde Edwards-Helaire question and answer.
Well, I mean, there's just no point in talking about him. I mean,
hate Clyde Edwards-Helaire. It is like
no.
The fantasy world wants to see.
Don't hate Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I get a lot of pushback in the comments on my opinions, more than you would think about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. People actually don't hate him. It's just that I'm so loud that I speak for like 100 people every time I talk.
People like I can't tell you how many times like fantasy analysts are like on Twitter are like, it's gonna be so funny when this running back comes in and takes all of his carries, and like they want to see his downfall so bad.
I will tell you that I did a post about players that are dead to you. The vitriol for Clyde Edwards-Helaire is there, but it is nothing like the vitriol for Saquon Barkley. There is nobody who has the vitriol against him that Saquon Barkley does. I've never seen anything.
Saquon
I mean,
Barkley.
No, well, don't do that. Don't do that because I'm with them. I'm with them.
Round pick. That's all. That's all you need.
No, we don't want. We don't want to buy players who can't produce 3 years of not producing. We don't want that. But Saquon Barkley, I've never seen people hate a player more than him. He's the one that's like crazy, even more than I hate him.
Nicholas hits the like button for Addison even when he's not here, and you watching this should do the exact same. 4th and 1. What rookies are we willing to quit on after year one? Any position? So Tyler, what does a rookie have to become for us to quit on them? They have to become a failure. There we go.
But yeah, face planner is the term that people use for someone who goes down in ADP from year 1 to year 2.
We don't like
and there's a certain amount of
Marshall. Sorry, sneezed.
But players I have quit, notable players from last year's class that I would say I've quit on. Dwayne Eskridge was one. De'Ami Brown I've quit on, and I've essentially quit on Terrace Marshall. If I see anyone, that's another thing. I don't accept as a rookie, if you're a day 2 pick and you're a healthy scratch at the later half of the year, you've already failed. You're in my doghouse immediately.
The later half of the year where they're like 2-12.
Well, I just don't want to hear about being a healthy scratch. If you're a rookie, I don't care what your record is. You can't even make the game day roster and you were a day 2 pick or higher, you have already failed.
So got produced by Brandon Zylstra.
Zylstra was better. So Terrace Marshall
was good on that one. When Brandon
Terrace Marshall and De'Ami Brown are the big 2 that I would say that I have quit on, the highest profile guys.
Lufty, Kyler for Gibson in a 1 QB 10-team league.
Good question, actually, about how we evaluate quarterbacks in a 1 QB. I just think that, Kyler had some issues this season, and I'd rather just 1 QB quarterback is just not good enough. So I'll take Gibson.
I'll take Kyler.
In a 1 QB, you'd still take Kyler over Gibson, and I don't think so. I think I would just take Gibson. Running back is so hard to find running back.
It's the 10-team league for me, too, because you need, in my opinion, you need the eliteness that Kyler Murray can present to you.
But
Antonio
he's
Gibson
never
to me is super replaceable.
He's never completed that eliteness. If he'd actually done it for a whole season, any of these 3 years, if he'd completed it, then maybe we'd be having a different conversation. But he's never completed it. You have to do the whole season. If you're going to be a difference maker in fantasy football and you don't do it for the whole season, then you didn't give me a whole season. So I don't rank him in that elite group. I have Mahomes and Allen together in the first tier, and then I have everyone else step down.
Sure.
Cat Zero wants to break up with Christian McCaffrey before it's too late. Christian McCaffrey or Waddle and Hunt?
Waddle and Hunt. I mean, I guess, but I don't. I want to do a little better.
Can you replace Hunt with somebody?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I like Waddle. I like the idea of going from McCaffrey to Waddle plus. That is a good idea. But Hunt, not so good.
Elijah Mitchell.
I think that's not realistic.
Waddle and Mitchell.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, but I feel like
more realistic.
I'd rather keep McCaffrey.
But I take Waddle and Jacobs, and I think that's more realistic. I just think Waddle and Mitchell is not realistic.
4th and 1, just moved Albert O, Minshew 102 and 402 for the 101. Sorry, but we already decided that Albert O is a cheat code in Madden that you need on your team. Sorry.
So essentially, he spent Alberto, Minshew, and 402 to move up from 102 to 101.
Mm-hmm.
I'd take 101.
Yeah.
And just take my chances that the tier break is there. It's worth the risk.
Another draft. Let's say 104 plus a 2023 second for 201, 203, and a 2024 first.
104 easily. Yeah, easily.
Yeah. Too cute. Pittman or Elijah Moore?
Moore.
Either.
To me, it's not that close. So I was pretty unequivocal there. But I also just, anytime it's a player versus player, same position, I'll read. I have my rankings right in front of me, so I'll just give the answer. But it's Moore pretty easily.
Which side gets the second round pick in the trade is the answer to me.
Not enough. I want more than that.
Each other in the ADP. So very close.
Yeah, I want more than that though. I want more than Pittman in a second if I'm going to give up Elijah Moore. So clearly, I don't feel that way.
Almost caught up, guys. Mac Jones and Derek Carr. Am I starters in Superflex? Am I screwed? Or all right?
Well, who do you have?
Riding the edge, my dude.
Yeah, if this is all you have, we're not good.
Yeah,
I like Jefferson and AJ Brown.
I like
Trade
that part.
People don't like Derek Carr at all. They're not going to give you anything for Carr. Trade Mac Jones.
No. But what about getting another quarterback? I think you need an additional quarterback.
Yeah, like see if you can upgrade from Mac Jones somehow.
Yeah.
Fair to say we're trading Elijah Moore or Godwin 1-for-1 for Saquon?
Nope. We're not going to do that. We'll keep these receivers who've actually managed to produce usable fantasy points recently. Saquon this year, you started Saquon many times. You started him, right? He played. He was healthy enough to play in the games, right? So what is the excuse? He was injured and then didn't produce. I don't want to hear about an injury. Why was he healthy enough to play in the games? He played many times and you started him in your fantasy lineup. What is the excuse for why Devontae Booker had an almost identical, actually better in some ways, better line than Saquon Barkley? Why? Because the offensive line was bad? That should affect the two players equally. Why did Saquon Barkley look like garbage? He was injured the whole time? I don't think so. So I don't want to. There's too many excuses. So I'll take these receivers that are, even with Godwin's injury, he at least produced this year.
Barkley or Monty?
Barkley. I don't really want Monty. He's older. He's 3 months younger. What's Monty? May 97. Yeah, May 97. And Barkley is February 97. So Barkley's birthday is actually coming up. But I'll take Barkley.
Super Cooper asked if we quit on Sermon.
I forgot he existed.
Sermon quit on us.
I forgot Sermon existed. He wasn't even worth an inclusion. You can drop Sermon in your dynasty. He wasn't worth an inclusion because I honestly forgot he existed.
I wouldn't drop him.
I think you can. I mean, if you're in a shallow Superflex tight end premium league where the emphasis is on quarterback and tight end in that format, it's shallow. Let's say you have 20 to 24 bench spots. I'm fine letting Trey Sermon go.
I would love to acquire Sermon for like a 3rd round pick.
I'm not paying any third for Sermon. He is a waste of time. I think that Sermon is on his couch by the start of 2022, just like Joe Williams.
No,
I do. Yes, I think that Sermon never plays. I get him off your team immediately. I'll take any third. He can go. He's worthless to me. Completely worthless.
I think wait and sell him until after he enters the transfer portal. I think that's the move.
I think that you're going to hear reports about him being on the roster bubble, and then you're not going to be able to sell him. So I would just take that 3rd round pick now and just you made a mistake. It happened. Move on.
I would ride him through free agency, see what happens.
Yeah.
I just think it's going to get worse.
If Mostert and Jeff Wilson don't re-sign and they kind of go in with Mitchell and Sermon, and
that's not going to happen.
There's no free agent signing, and they're kind of waiting for the NFL draft to add another running back. That's your.
That might give you a window, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah,
I think Jeff Wilson will be re-signed.
Any second for Rondale Moore?
No, not any second. I'm not quitting on Rondale Moore, but I am concerned. I have serious concerns. And if they re-sign Christian Kirk, he's done. He's dead in the water because he was drafted to replace someone, and then they reverse course and re-sign that exact player. So that would be, I would drop Rondale Moore about 3 rounds if they re-sign Christian Kirk or any significant free agent wide. Like if they sign Chris Godwin in free agency, then clearly Rondale Moore is not it.
What about Juju?
Well, Juju's not a significant wide receiver, so I wouldn't move him as much.
Rondale or Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
I'll take Rondale because Clyde Edwards-Helaire just is a waste of time.
I'll take Clyde.
You should watch on Saturday. Adam gets into Rondale a good bit. And Dr. Ian Malcolm comes up while we're talking about him.
Rondale Moore was a very good prospect, but I really hope that they don't re-sign Christian Kirk and that they go for like just some outside guy as their second wide receiver and give Rondale Moore a chance to shine. Yeah, Michael Gallup. I could see if they could get Michael Gallup on a cheap 1-year deal and then have, Nuke as the 1, Gallup as the outside 2, and then Moore in the slot. That would give him a good chance to succeed. But if they sign someone like Kirk or Juju in the slot, would be bad also. Like if they sign anyone like that to like share more slot role, I would be very, very concerned.
Okay. Aiden Bailey, the guy in my league who has Jonathan Taylor is in a full rebuild, had the 2, 3, 5, and 11 overall with a bunch of seconds and thirds due to salary cap. I need to move Cook. If I offered Cook, what else pick-wise should I offer without giving up too much?
Whatever it costs.
Whatever it costs, right?
Yeah. Cook in the 2 is not enough. Cook in the 2 is not enough. Like that won't get it done. You're gonna need more than that.
If Cook wasn't in this deal, would you do like pull up Mike Ditka traded in for Ricky Williams and trade all like 2, 3, 5, 11 and whatever seconds and thirds they wanted?
I would trade 2, 3, 5, and 11, but that's starting to get to the value.
Yeah. I feel like
I would do Cook in like 11 and 5, and then he's like, nah, and then I'll be like 11, 5, 3, and then if he says no, then I'll be like, you know what? All of it.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Especially if there is like with a salary cap league, if Jonathan Taylor is still on a rookie contract.
I know. Then he's worth so much more.
Right.
Cook has got to be extended at this point on a veteran deal. So
yeah. So to me, I think you got to give up whatever it takes. I agree. Yeah. Diggs for Chubb and Knox.
Diggs.
I'll take Chubb and Knox.
T-Law, Chenault, Gage, 310 or 110, 111, 210, 2023 first, and Bateman.
I guess this has to be
Superflex.
Superflex. I'd say.
Well, 2 of these players were teal, so I think you have to go to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, the 210 is worth about as much as Chenault. Gage and the 310 are worth not much. So it's would I pay all of that?
3 firsts and Bateman if you still
first this year, first. 23 first and Bateman all for Lawrence. I mean,
yep.
Honestly, like if I have Lawrence, I'm probably not taking this offer because it's things like too many things I don't like. Bateman late firsts, not that interested. So I probably would decline this offer. But if I have the other side, I'm not sending it either. That's often my answer. If you listen to the show, it's like, if I had the other side, I'd prefer to send it for other stuff. Same thing with the opposing side. So I'm probably not making this deal either way.
In a 10-team Superflex, Dak, Lance, Mac, and Zach Wilson, are you trying to upgrade at QB?
You're good. Not especially in a 10-team. You're fine. Yeah, no problems. You're good here.
Mm-hmm.
In a 10-team, it's close to me. I feel like you have to.
I would almost say that you have one quarterback too many.
Yeah, move Zach Wilson.
Right.
Yeah, just get rid of Zach Wilson. But you have enough upside with Dak and Lance, and then Mac is someone safe. So yeah, you're fine. No issues.
Aaron has Burrow, Lance, Jefferson, and Higgins, but my running back one is Ramondre Stevenson. I have the 106 this year. I'm worried the 3 running backs go by then. Should I trade for a running back or draft one? I love this question, Aaron, because I can remind everyone that you don't have to set a lineup for the next 8 months, 7 months. 6 months, whatever it is now, for a long time. So do you need to add a running back? Yes, but don't freak out and make a bad deal.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Yep.
Happy I got to catch some of the show live this week. Best out of the league, fellas. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you.
Make sure you hit the like button. Addison's here. He smiles.
That's true.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on Russell Gage?
Absolutely.
Smash.
Yeah, I'll take a second. I'm not in on Russell Gage.
Everyone like and subscribe. Yeah. 12 team, full PPR, half tight end premium, Superflex. Which would you give which picks would you give for Travis Kelce?
I mean, the odds that I trade for Travis Kelce are 0. So it's, I don't even, you're asking me about a trade I would never do. I'd have to have him at a massive discount. So I guess I'd give the 105 or 106, and that's never happening.
I was going to say, you took Hawkinson over the 105, and I wanted to gauge your temperature on 105 for Kelce, given that.
But that's never happening.
Okay.
In a tight end premium.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm never acquiring Travis Kelce because I'd want a massive discount that I'm not going to get.
Yeah, he's
so
probably
when it comes to selling, though, selling Travis Kelce is more relevant. I mean, I'd like to still get a top 3 pick in tight end premium, but I'm not sure I can.
Buy or sell Krangus McBasketball as his real name?
Sell.
Buy.
Patrick Bichette, which running backs are buys for you? Who are you targeting?
There are very few. Javonte is one of them. Akers is another. There are not many more running backs that are actually buys. Most running backs are sells to me.
Josh Jacobs
could be a buy also, for sure.
People are too
given
low
his price, given his price and his age. But that might actually be it. Like Javonte Williams. Oh, DeAndre Swift, maybe. Depends on his price. But for some people, he could be a buy.
Josh Jacobs is 2 months older than AJ Dillon?
1 month older than Najee Harris.
Probably.
I don't know. AJ Dillon, I know, is 98, but I think he's later in the year.
It's right there.
He was 98 years old.
No, 1998. Jacobs is February in 98.
Would you be willing to buy Austin Eckler if it was 1 first-round pick?
Yeah, but that's not happening.
If it was 104, would you do that?
That's not happening. I mean, yes, but that isn't happening. It's not happening.
Jacob, I bet it could happen.
I don't think so.
He's a month older than Ramondre Stevenson.
I know.
People are just too low on him.
I agree.
Pittman was wide receiver 6 until week 8. Then they all hopped on JT's backpack.
Yeah, he's a buy low, and I'll talk about that more in the article.
That's a backpack that's going to be on for a while. So
unfortunately, and he's also stuck with Carson failure.
True. Super Cooper wants to trade Cup, but with his production, it's hard to value him and get what I want. What should I be asking for?
Valued too low in our ADP.
Yes. Oh, that made me so happy for you to say that. Oh my goodness.
Cup or DK Metcalf?
Cup.
I would take Metcalf.
I'll take Cup.
DK Metcalf is another one that's
barely over Super 24. Cooper, what you do is you go onto our YouTube channel, you scroll down a little bit, and you find a video that says buy or sell Cooper Cup, which was a whole 10-minute video on me breaking down why you should buy, why you should sell. And at the very end, I put a nice little chart that said, if you are rebuilding and you have Cooper Cup, this is what you should sell for. If you're competing and you have Cooper Cup, here's what you should sell for, and vice versa on the buy side. It's a beautiful.
But the other thing is that the tier in that range is so flat that there is possibly a universe in which you can get Jalen Waddle and a first for Cup, and I'm doing that all day.
Oh, absolutely. Holy crap.
That universe may exist, and I'm doing all day.
Yep.
I sold Kamara for Johnson.
Deontay.
Tyler?
Deontay. Well, I would have rather had Deontay
do it if it was Tyler Johnson and a first. I think I'd still do it.
I had Deontay ranked above Kamara before the news. So,
yep.
Yeah.
12-team full PPR, starting 2 flex, Justin Jefferson for the 105 and 2 2023 first.
Not enough.
Jefferson.
Also, we saw what I said about Deontay Johnson on Twitter. I was like, this narrative that he has too many drops is false. It's a false narrative. It's a lie.
Wait,
it is
you're
not
turning down 3 first for Justin Jefferson?
Yes, I will.
It doesn't say if it's Superflex.
In Superflex, it's closer, but I'll still take Jefferson.
It's pretty close. I would still take Jefferson. I don't want to sell those players for just picks. Like, if you replace the 105 with like a receiver that I know, like a T. Higgins, I'd be much more inclined to do that.
Yeah, much better, but I'd still take Jefferson.
Yeah, but nobody's worth 4 first, right? Like,
I actually asked that question on Twitter. And people said that it was nobody in one quarterback, and Superflex is probably only like Mahomes and Josh Allen.
So you're saying, let's say that we're 105 and 323 first. I would say that no player in 1 QB is worth that. And in Superflex, maybe Mahomes and Josh Allen and no one else. So yeah, pretty much the same.
Jaden wants to know, trade high on Javonte now with unknown of Gordon, aiming for a 2023 championship? No,
I said to do the opposite.
You have to sell. You have to sell high. Like, it has to be high.
I'm the opposite. I would buy low.
That's what I mean. Like, it has to be like, you have to be like DeAndre Swift plus to sell.
Yeah, that's not happening.
And there's no way.
That's not happening.
I just can't think of a trade that I don't want to trade away Javonte.
Running backs are so weird. Gordon. Yeah, you can't, because you're like, if I downgrade, then I'm going to Cook, Kamara, Eckler.
Yeah,
that's exactly. You don't want to do that. And then if you downgrade too far, and then I would rather just try to upgrade. But instead of upgrading, you can't spend a lot to get to Swift or to get to Najee, or maybe you add to Najee to get to Javonte. It's just he's in such a weird situation that you can't
exactly.
Sell.
Yeah, I would just hang on.
That's exactly it. Because like the next closest like youngish running back is J.K. Dobbins, and it's like he's in terms of ADP, he's like 7 spots below.
Just hang on to Javonte and let it play out.
Ride it out.
Dustin, since Addison is here, I'm going to hammer the like button. Also curious to know what you think. Traded the 106, 202 Curtis Samuel for 101 and Terrace Marshall. Thought it was good to have control.
I'll take the 101. Samuel and Marshall are basically the same thing. So 101 over 106 and 202.
Yeah. Who are you going to pick up when you dropped Terrace Marshall?
I'm not dropping Terrace Marshall yet.
Grangus, that is apparently a name from the Impractical Jokers.
Like, DJ Chark exists. It's happened once. One time it's happened. Really. One. Where someone's that bad and then becomes relevant.
But DJ Chark didn't have DJ Moore in front of him. So
right. But I'm saying it's happened one time, and that makes it worse. So it happened for the future. But it's happened really one time where someone is that horrible and then becomes good.
10-team Superflex 101 or Cup?
Cup.
Oh, appreciate you.
I watched that video. Did I watch that video? I watch a lot. There's a lot of videos on the channel, so sometimes I forget which ones I've watched and which ones I haven't watched. Your Josh Jacobs video is one of the ones that sticks in my memory the most.
I want to make another one of that, but I can't find more pairings. So if you have more pairings, Carp, let me know, and I'll make videos.
I will.
Okay.
Dude from Viking Quest
new patron of mine, by the way. So welcome to that.
I have TJ Hawkinson, Goddard, and Freiermuth at tight end. Where's Freiermuth from? What
best
college?
School in the country. Right there.
Yeah. I'd like to add a wide receiver. Is there someone you're high on that I should target for one of these tight ends? If it's not a tight end premium, I don't know.
You also picked 3 players that are strong buys for me. So I'm probably not going to like the offers you receive for these players. Freiermuth is the one where I'm the closest to the ADP value. Hawkinson and Goddard are 2 of my strongest buys in all of Dynasty.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting good enough wide receivers to make that a worthwhile move.
Freiermuth is the one, maybe. I mean, could you send Freiermuth straight across for Kadarius? Well, maybe not now. Maybe you could before.
I bet you could.
Yeah, I don't mind that deal. That's probably a good one.
Maybe that then. Darnell Mooney, maybe.
Josh Jacobs in a first or DeAndre Swift?
Not enough.
Standard?
Swift.
Wait, this is non-PPR?
Yeah, it's Swift anyway, though.
I like that Addison reacted like he saw a dinosaur.
Dude, I just like standard.
Yeah, I mean, Jacobs also had a lot of receiving improvement in receiving production this year, so it's not Swift anyway.
I would take DeAndre Swift for the value and then move him for Josh Jacobs in 2 firsts.
Yeah, it's still Swift, but I get it.
Let's see. 12-team Superflex. Lamar Jackson was just put on the block, and his manager inquired into Justin Fields. I have 103, 106, and 206. Fields plus what should land me Jackson? Thanks.
Well, I'm open to this because I don't really believe in Justin Fields, and I like Lamar Jackson a lot. So I'm open to this. I mean, I would try Fields in 106. You think that gets it done? Probably not, right?
106 and 206. Just make it perfect.
How about that?
Just make it a really good first offer.
I would do that. That's a good idea. I would definitely take Lamar over Fields 106 and 206 pretty easily.
Yep.
I am not a Fields believer. I don't want to say I never have been because that's not really true, but I do not like this head coach at all. As Eberflus person, I'm not a fan of his. So
the way he says it, I don't know why. It was just so funny.
Well, I'm just not a fan of his. I didn't think, what did he do to deserve? What did he do to deserve being a head coach? I just don't feel like he's prepared to be a head coach. He seems unprepared. So, I just don't think so. So I'll stay away from Justin Fields.
Dustin sold Javante and Goddard and 208 for DeAndre Swift, Hawkinson, and 310.
I like it.
I will take. Oh, actually, that's a pretty fair trade for me.
I like it.
Swift. Good job.
Yeah, I'll lean Swift, but that trade is fair.
Thoughts on Chenault and Mooney plus 304 for Bateman, Gainwell, and 307 in a 10-team.
Mooney.
Mooney. Let's see. I mean,
I think Mooney and Bateman are close enough that I would rather have Chenault and hope on the upside that he hits over Gainwell.
I don't think
or whatever.
Yeah, Mooney and Bateman are not that far off. I'd definitely rather have Chenault over Gainwell. I think is irrelevant. But those players are just so low down. And the 304 and 307 are so low down. I think what really matters more is the gap between Bateman and Mooney, which is still pretty large for me. So I'll take the Bateman side. I'm not a Darnell Mooney fan, by the way.
Gabe Davis, sell, buy, or hold?
Sell. Goner.
Yeah, I actually think I expect them to sign someone in free agency to play the slot role. I think they're going to eliminate Cole Beasley. And I actually recently predicted that Christian Kirk would sign there.
He'll never be the second target.
Well, I think he could share it. But I actually think, imagine the offense, though, with Stephon Diggs playing one outside role. Davis is a pure outsider. So you're playing another. You have Kirk in the slot, Knox at tight end. I actually think that would be – they're going to sign someone to improve on the slot that Beasley, and Sanders kind of shared. I think they could sign – I think if you sign Kirk, he does everything that Beasley and Sanders offered in one person. So for a lesser price. So I think that for younger, too. So I think that would be a signing that they would look at.
Addison, Drew Aller is going to save this team.
There's also the risk that the Bills go really expensive and sign Godwin or something.
Chad, do we draft Kamara? Team startup PPR, tight end premium, Superflex with the
No. For me to actually draft Kamara, he's going to have to fall another 3 rounds beyond that. So I'm fine just deciding 27-year-old running back who could be facing an indeterminate suspension for who knows how long on a horrible offense with a coach that was a disaster the last time he was a head coach, with no weapons, no quarterback, nothing. I am good. So, I would not drafting Kamara at that price.
Dustin just wanted to give a shout out to Jacob Sanderson, 25th birthday today. Hey.
Yes. Jacob also helped me with my spreadsheet.
Legend born in February, baby.
Hey, what? It's my birthday in 4 days. I didn't remember that. Forgot about my own birthday. Yeah, I turned 27 in 4 days, February 12th.
Okay, if we didn't get your question, hit us up on Twitter or somewhere else, maybe in the comments down below under this.
Twitter is good, yeah.
Tyler, we do a pretty good job.
We all respond, yeah. Addison is the DLF account, and Cal and I are it's obvious what
our own accounts.
They say Cal and Tyler, so it's obvious who's responding with what.
Okay, this has been a lot of fun. I missed the first part, but man, I tell you what, I had a lot of fun hanging out here, Addison. I appreciate you filling in for me and hanging out for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, we did it. Man, we had a little throwback to what you all used to do.
That's right. Yeah, a lot of fun. Great job, chat. This was awesome. You guys were incredible. I mean, so many questions. Appreciate all that. Keep them coming. Tuesdays are the best night.
They are.
I love it. Yes. All right. Well, make sure you're subscribed to the channel right down below. If it's a red button, it's the wrong color. Hit the button. Make sure it turns gray. Hit the thumbs up button because Addison loves it. Likes for Tyler. No, likes for Addison. Excuse me.
Likes for Addison.
Maybe subscribe for Tyler. I don't know. We'll see.
Comment for Tyler.
Comment. Yeah, there you go. All right. Any last words, Addison?
No, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
All right. With that,